Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Radio here on a Friday. AM 590 ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here on the Pillar Exterior stage. What's up, DB?
What is going down?
I got to ask you a question.
Why?
Right off the bat here.
It's awful early for this.
I know, but I'm curious.
What's up?
Why were you so heavy on the Bears yesterday?
I don't know.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I was just...
Well, I think there's a couple of things, like kind of the perception of what the Bears weren't going to do.
Okay.
And just kind of where the Chiefs were with who they allegedly wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we want to see this, this, and this, and kind of ramp this thing up for. And I just, this is dumb, but I just watch a lot of
preseason football, yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, gosh, the Bears have a lot of guys that are in the middle, closer to the top.
Okay.
The Chiefs are established, so I felt like
they were looking at their bottom end guys to see.
Yeah.
And the Bears were trying to figure out more the middle of the roster.
100%.
So it's a personnel issue.
Yeah.
Okay. I was curious because, you were dead right.
Yeah, I'll give you another one today.
Well, let's do it. We got a little segment later.
What time is that segment?
9:30.
All right, but full disclosure, because Shane, is Sautter in studio?
Normally, yes.
Okay.
And he is very adamant about telling me if he's not going to be here.
Okay, yeah, he probably would tell you last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there at 8:59. So I may have to run out real quick and say goodbye to Maya because she's going back to school today.
Yeah,
so
that's
she
fine.
wants to swing by and give the old love hug.
You just want to put her on the air? Be like, what's up, Maya?
Nah, she wouldn't. Nah, yeah. Zoe, Micah, yes. Maya, no.
I was saying, if it was Micah, he definitely would.
Yeah.
He'd be like, let me learn you something.
No, so I don't know. It just makes
All right.
sense.
I'm just curious. You were very convicted about it. And then it ended up going the way it did. And I was like, you know what? That DB might be on some witchcraft.
Well, it's a shame I don't ever follow my own advice, but in about another month or so, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you're exactly right.
I know. What's up, Coach Sad? How we doing?
You follow your own advice when you're betting against me.
Yeah. 100%.
We got a good show coming up for you.
We do, man. A lot goings on.
We got football tomorrow.
I know.
Like real football.
Are you gonna make some? What do they eat in Ireland? Like bangers and mash or blood sausage?
That's more of like a more strictly English type breakfast.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a lot of potatoes in Ireland.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I'm sure you can make some good breakfast potatoes. Don't let me sit here and act like
I like a breakfast potato.
4 or 5 months ago I wasn't crushing breakfast potatoes because I would.
That's fine.
I prefer a hash brown over a breakfast potato.
A little shred as opposed to cube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if you cube them up right, they're good still. But a lot of people leave them a little too mushy.
Yeah, I got 2 people in our household, Micah and Zoe, that like a lot of times in the middle of the day, like I'll cube up potatoes pretty small, like about.
The smaller they are, the better because you get crispier.
Yeah, and I let them sit in salt water, and then by the time we get ready for dinner, just dump, pat dry, season, air fryer, 19 minutes at 425, and they are like.
I need the crisp. That's the key for me. I need crispy potatoes.
So it's a versatile vegetable. Right?
It is.
Yeah, no seeds. It's a vegetable. Right? Yeah, correct. Okay.
It's a versatile food product for sure.
Yeah. So what's the go-to meat in Ireland?
I mean, is it cliche to say corned beef? Am I just doing the St. Patrick's Day thing? I don't know.
But I'd eat that. I could eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I like corned beef.
And I know how to now turn it into pastrami, which I was 46 years old before I figured out I liked pastrami.
Yeah, pastrami's good.
Yeah, and it wasn't everybody's. It was Vrzal's, and then learn how to do my own.
Opened up the world to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Was it corned beef burn ends that you made?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on some more of those.
Oh, I know. Me too. My cooking days might be over here for a minute.
Yeah.
It's hectic.
Yeah.
Got home last night.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's go time.
It is.
The cool thing, though, is it's a good balance because February through June, it's okay. It's good balance.
A little slower.
Yeah. It's good balance.
Yeah, a lot going on from August through hopefully December.
Yeah. Typically through January,
Okay.
where it's hectic. So it's good balance.
What day is the Citrus Bowl? January 1st?
I think that's the 31st, isn't it? Oh, Citrus is the 31st. Music City's the 30 or the first. Music City's
the
31st.
31st. Yeah. So, maybe
Here we go.
Maybe we'll be busy through December.
Here we go.
We won't do season predictions officially until next week.
You already bagged your 8 wins. You did it multiple times in multiple ways.
I said at
you
least
locked us in for 8 at
least
PBC when we were out at Indian Creek. And then you somehow explained that 8 was the perfect number. 10's too many.
10's too many. We can't handle it.
Yeah, I've never heard that in my life.
Listen. This is from a 30,000 foot view.
Yeah,
right.
Go super macro.
In the moment, I understand. People are like, no, give me as many wins as possible.
Win, baby.
4, 6, 8, 12.
It can be a detriment to your progress.
I would shoot,
all
man.
I'm
How about a total of the last 2 years? That'd be nice.
That would put them at 9. Yeah.
10, 11, 12.
Nine's the highest acceptable number. Acceptable is the wrong word. The highest advantageous number.
What a baby.
I told you. Maybe it's a loser mentality, but you knew exactly what I meant.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I could see what you're saying.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong.
But you realize it's like when people get in their feels. I can see how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm going to go ahead and foster the behavior.
It's fine. I'm not saying it's a positive mindset to have in the world. I'm just saying I think it's realistic of what
you and Doc Woodman can't hang out, man. He's a positive mindset guy.
Now,
max out.
What's funny is I've been the most positive one for most of the offseason.
Yeah, you did step out onto a limber.
2026 playoff. They will make a playoff by 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Mark it down.
Do you have some comeback to the pack teams from where is anything really different from what you thought maybe like in January, February?
For this year specifically?
Yeah.
I think I'm less high on Florida State. The DJU thing is really.
Do you know who I thought you were going to say?
Who?
Iowa.
No, I'm not less high on Iowa.
You've been staunch.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe it's.
If you don't love it, leave it.
Maybe
just blowing the old trumpet.
Maybe it's 9.
Shane, is that a good fake trumpet?
It was okay. It sounded like you had a mute on there, Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to blow anybody's eardrums out.
It's too early for that.
It is. Plus, my voice is raggedy, so.
You sound like you had one of those like mute, the things that look like a plunger.
Yeah, it sounded pretty good.
Thank you, Shane. Positive guy.
Man.
Wow.
No, I think I was
constantly tinkling in cereal. Like why?
Even if Cade Mack, that's kind of just who I am as a person.
Jeez, wet blanket.
That thing wet.
I'm very positive. People know this about me.
Got a lot of snacks over there, I see.
Yeah, I couldn't decide what I wanted this morning.
That looks like a mini CVS.
So,
shout out.
No receipt though. That's like a mile long.
Yeah, are those protein chips?
Nope, these are just regular popcorners. So they're corn-based chips instead of like flour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I had the Nutter Butters.
Yeah. So I watched you do something yesterday or day before, and I was traumatized.
What happened?
I almost didn't recover.
What happened?
Those are relatively little, right? They're small little circular things.
I take a bite?
No.
Oh, okay.
You licked all the way around the outside.
Did I?
As soon as you took it out of the bag. And I was like,
He touched it. He touched it.
I don't even remember doing that. I don't like to get the peanut butter on my fingers.
Okay, that's fine. But number one, they're small. So the finite amount of margin of error you had was incredible. And then to watch you navigate spinning a little circle in your little sausage fingers, I was like, this dude is gross.
I literally don't even remember doing that.
I was just like, it's like, ugh.
I'll try and turn the other way before I do it next time.
Bro, how about how I low-key didn't want to knock the hustle, so I didn't want to say anything, but I was in my head, I was like, I need a second.
I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
I really don't.
Must come very natural to you.
Well,
it's just
pop it in.
I told I was not gonna get into how you do your thing, but it's so just Just put it in there and eat it. It's not like an Oreo. It's not even like a normal size thing. It's itty bitty.
I don't even know why I would have done that.
Maybe you didn't like the peanut butter on your
I don't like
fingers.
peanut butter. I don't like getting stuff on my fingers.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's a weird deal. No, like, the Nutter Butters have some peanut butter in it, so it kind of feels more breakfasty. But I was kind of
You'll convince yourself of anything.
yeah, mostly. But I was like kind of wanting something salty, so I got the popcorners too.
Yeah, like what you're feeling.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
I in my brain, I was like, I don't know that the Nutter Butters are the flavor profile I'm going for right now.
It's a lot of thought.
But I didn't have anything else salty besides non-breakfast foods.
I just think to myself, what at one point used to breathe? That doesn't include photosynthesis.
Mom, get my nuts.
If it walked or swam, I'm probably like,
Good to go.
yeah, maybe to some degree flu.
Yeah.
Not a ton of
Chickens don't really fly.
Yeah, not a ton of lift.
No, a little bit. They got a little bit.
a little,
Just a little bit.
you know, I'm not
Turkey.
Yeah, I'm not banging down the door to eat some, goose breast or something.
No, I don't even think I've ever eaten goose.
Yeah, I watched
I've eaten a lot of different stuff.
I watched
don't think
my
I've eaten
buddy
goose.
Brad Gunther. He used to hunt them.
Yeah?
With some guys on our softball team, and I watched him pull some feathers.
Yeah.
Yep, won't be recovering ever.
Like Nelly, shake your tail feathers.
Yeah. Nebraska's playing Colorado, I believe, on Black Friday. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, that's a minute.
It's early 2000s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a minute ago.
Had the game on outside with some of the softball team over. And I was like, God, that's gross. It's an ugly color, too. It's like purple under there.
Yeah. Animal skin color is weird because you kind of just think it's you kind of just look at it and you're like, oh, it's the color of their fur, but then it's not. It's a whole other deal.
It's both on.
You good?
Yeah.
I think DB's going to be sick. Do you need another butter?
I'm having a flashback.
You need a popcorner? I got some drinks here, too.
Shane.
Nope. You good?
Back in the day.
Yeah, I'm good.
Coming up on the show today, we got our friend Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska. At 9, we will talk to Mike Sautter, as we always do, from Hurrdat Sports and NAB Preps.
Like we always do at this time.
And then at 9:45, we'll wrap up the show with the one and only Matt Vrzal, former Husker, owner of Paisan's Pizzeria. What's up? Hey, your quarterbacks are on TV again.
Every morning.
Yeah.
Told you want to get in the media business, man. It's only 4 things you got to know to talk about.
Steelers quarterback.
That's 1.
Dallas Cowboys.
That's 2.
LeBron.
And the New York Jets. That right now will get you through. That will get you through like 18 shows.
I didn't realize the national media was that high on Adrian Martinez. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't know if you know this, but a lot
Sounds
of
about right.
I've seen a lot of number 15 talk to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Which is funny because don't let me act like 2 weeks ago I just didn't say, I wonder if Aaron Rodgers likes Tyrod Taylor because he kept walking away from him. Like I said that out loud on the show. So don't make it, I don't want to make it seem like I don't watch quarterback interaction.
I'm not sure Aaron Rodgers likes anybody that much.
Yeah, well, it's almost, and how do you not like Amart?
Yeah. He's very personable.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And he has a certain amount of meekness to his game that is inviting.
He's a good egg, as they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like Amart.
Yeah. Ellie De La Cruz is so foolish.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Except when he gets picked off.
Don't do that. Don't get picked off.
It's a nice move by Skeens.
Don't too fast to get picked off. Don't do that.
Yeah. And you're too long.
Yeah.
Just fall down and
just
you're
fall
on the
over.
bag.
It's like, I'm here.
Is he like 6'5"?
6'6", I think. He's big.
Yeah.
It's either him and O'Neal Cruz are almost the same size. Like, they're both like 6'6", 6'7". They're huge.
Yeah. Do you think they exchanged pleasantries yesterday?
Maybe.
They're very close to one another.
Standing next to each other. Yeah.
Just walk across the dugout.
You think they're like, hey, who's the better Cruz?
The team that didn't get beat 7-0.
Ellie De La is the better Cruz. That's the answer.
Yeah.
O'Neal is kind of freaky, though, too. He's just not quite as productive.
Did you lock in Paul Skeens for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
How mad would you be if Chris Sale won Cy Young?
I'm mad anyway. It doesn't matter about the award. I'm already. He's been good enough that I'm already mad. Well,
You're mad.
whenever we talked to an MLB guy last, that was one of my questions. I was like, how mad?
So
should
do
I?
you know who I didn't feel like that about? I'm like, if Trey Turner wins the batting, or Trey Turner, or in Philadelphia, or Justin Turner, who went to your raggedy team.
Whoa.
What? What'd I say?
raggedy. That's a
Like if he would have hit 310 out there, with the short porch and the monster out there in Fenway, I wouldn't have been like, "Ooh, I'm so mad at you."
He had a good year with the Red Sox that year, though.
I know. I'm well aware.
I'm just saying, you got at least some use out of Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Not a lot out of Chris Sale. Not a lot.
You're supposed to champion people, Robbie. Cheer them on.
Yeah.
Remember? Cheer as the winners go by.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily about that life.
Okay, man. Thank you for kicking our tail.
It's not even about him beating the Red Sox. It's about him stealing.
Hey, I know you can sign for, a salary, but turn it down, okay?
Here's the
Wait, you think you're at the DNC? Turn down for what? like what was that?
Here's the problem that
5 and down and everybody shout.
Here's the problem.
It was lit last night.
It was 2 nights ago.
Here's the problem I have, right?
I had to turn it off.
Is because I kept getting told over and over again, right? Oh, like they couldn't re-sign Mookie Betts because they signed Chris Sale and they signed David Price and they signed Nathan Eovaldi.
Stop it.
And they spent all this money.
I'm gonna need you to get out of your fields.
And
ASAP.
then, what was David Price after the contract? Trash.
Now, what is he doing now?
I don't think he's playing baseball anymore. What was Chris Sale after the contract? Trash. Nathan Eovaldi was all right. We love Nathan Eovaldi. Mookie Betts, he's been great. Still great.
Do you pay any attention to Eovaldi in Texas?
Not as much this year. I did a lot. What was it last year when he was like an all-star and had
you're like, everybody that leaves Boston, this gets better.
I was actually happy for Nathan Eovaldi.
The difference is
he actually gave us good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're good,
you're dead to me.
Yeah, if you're good for us, and then it's like, oh, it's time to part ways. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. Like I got no hard feelings for
Mookie.
No, I don't have anything hard feelings for Mookie. That wasn't Mookie's fault. That's Boston's fault.
Gotcha.
I love Mookie. Mookie feels like my firstborn child. I love Mookie so much.
You don't even like kids.
No, I don't. So my firstborn dog. Mookie Betts is my dude because that's one of those where I like followed him through the minors. So you feel like you've got this like stake in their success.
Yeah.
And then, obviously he won the World Series MVP and everything in 2018, like fulfilled all the promise, right? So it's really satisfying. And then Boston's like, no, you can go. We don't want to pay you. We're going to pay all these washed up pitchers. How's that?
No.
Is that fun for everybody?
I think that's Jessica, right?
I think so.
It is.
They've had a good week of shows on Husker Sports Nightly.
I know. They got after it with Coach Rule the other day.
Yeah, for an hour.
Yeah.
He was I like how he's kind of letting his hair grow.
He looked tired.
You think?
I thought so. Well, he seemed maybe tired's the wrong word. He seemed more low key than he normally does.
Yeah, they're putting in some days now, though.
Oh yeah, I'm not criticizing.
They push practice back a couple of days, and I think yesterday they didn't start till 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're obviously working before and then after. And speaking of tonight, are you guys going? Are you coming tonight to the?
I haven't bought a ticket yet, but
come on, money bag, yo. Money bag, yo.
Are you guys going?
Is that what the kids say?
I thought about texting Michael, see if he would just let me in, but then I wouldn't be supporting the foundation. I'd feel bad. So
I mean, I kind of would like to punch Dr. Rob right in the face, but I don't know if I can jump that high. I'm gonna have to come off the stage on like the top rope.
Yeah, just do it like a flying.
Because he's extremely, I don't know the word, but he's sometimes it's always not very inviting. But he doesn't mean anything by it. He's just very cynical.
Yeah.
It's flickering.
Oh yeah, that sense of humor is dry. It had to be a fun time. I don't know. I'm gonna try to really, really, really bust it.
Yeah.
And be here on time. But who knows?
Yeah.
When Coach Lamanji's going to let us out.
Part of it was I wanted to make sure I didn't have anything going on tonight before I bought a ticket.
Hey, what's the Friday special? I suppose I should read.
Yeah.
Is it Wing Day?
No,
is it Wing Day?
Wings is Wednesday, I think.
Well, that's alliteration. Are you sure?
Maybe. I might just be doing a thing.
So we can't see the ads like while we're actually looking at ourselves because I'd much rather look at the ads.
Yeah. I don't think you can do that during the actual show, though. You got to wait till commercial break.
Gosh, I can't wait till commercial break. Can you fast forward to scroll and read?
I don't know.
I'll put the ad up for you.
Not when it's live.
You are looking.
Ooh, Hail
Ooh,
Varsity
a burger meal.
$12.
Dude, outside of that red onion, look at that burger.
That burger does look good. I'll take the red onion. I'll probably lose the tomato.
I'll take it.
I'm not a big tomato guy.
Wow.
What?
Nothing.
I'm just not a big tomato guy.
To each his own.
Selfish.
Because I think we can eat. I don't know. I don't typically eat while I'm working, but I may just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little voyeur in me.
What are you watching?
The other guys on stage.
Oh.
And I'm just telling you, if any of these big guys are getting on stage, they better fix that little piece of the stage over there because it ain't supporting guys like Rob.
Rob's a big fella.
Yeah, Rob will be giving himself a anesthesia after maybe having amnesia. We need to fix the stage.
Your Florida man and TK both thank you for
Being funny.
for the money on the Bears last night.
Oh man, you guys are good.
No, nobody's thanking you for being funny. That's not a thing that's happened.
Damn it. Man, well, maybe.
well, maybe.
My voice is so raggedy. I can't do the guy that you hate on TikTok.
Good.
Because I have him down pat.
You do. It's the worst.
Dude, he did a shrimp donut the other day. Gosh.
That doesn't sound good.
Dude, it was incredible. He
A little bit of that W sauce.
yeah, going down with that W sauce. See, I can't do it.
You're not gonna be able to coach tonight.
I can't. Oh, I'm not, see, I don't have to say anything today, really.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! Just look at that
lot of
thing.
install, or not install, but it's game plan.
You're
it's
like-
game.
John Cusack, say anything?
Yeah, we're inside of a week.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. It's time to go.
Yeah, and we're Thursday.
Oh, so you guys play 29th, right? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go see Millard North, Millard West on Friday, I think.
Are you so excited?
I'm curious. I want to see what it looks like. I know it's a work in progress, but
I don't know. A lot of it depends on how the game goes to see what the Friday schedule is. I know we have to bring the guys into rehab and condition, but I think my go-to would be Bellevue West and Central.
yeah, it's gonna be a better game probably.
And I like to see guys that are on our schedule.
Yeah. I feel like I should be there for the first post.
Although Millard West is on our schedule.
There you go.
Before Bellevue West.
There you
and Central.
go. That's DB. I'm Ravi. We'll be back. Good morning. Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Just
Got a little trivia for you.
is it relevant?
Good college football.
Okay.
You ready?
How many questions?
Just one.
Ooh, pressure.
There are. You ready?
Sure.
There's
Let her rip.
68 teams in the Power Four.
Mhm.
3 of them have never won 10 games in a regular season. Do you know who they are?
Well, that's a great question, Robbie.
3 out of 68 in the Power 4
Mhm.
that have never won
10 regular season games.
Never?
Never. Never, ever.
Never, ever, 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 never.
Thank you, Johnny. I double checked because I was also surprised that one of these teams, or a couple of them, hadn't got there.
Can I pull up the conferences?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for
I
a
can give
second?
you what conferences they're in.
Yep, yeah. Give
Uh,
me the first one.
One is in the Big Ten.
Rutgers.
Nope. Pretty sure Rutgers won 10 in the first Shiano stint.
Northwestern has Illinois. When Illinois played Baylor in a bowl game, Worth Mendenhall, did they get to 10?
They were 9 that year. I think they were 10 in a Kittner year. Or Kittner. Like 02.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Michigan State has, Penn State has, Nebraska has, Wisconsin.
I would stay on the track of, I would consider them a school kind of like Illinois. I don't know if that helps or not.
Maryland's never won 10.
Not Maryland.
Minnesota.
Mm-mm.
I'm out.
Indiana.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I forget they're in the Big Ten.
I do too. Basketball school. That's why I said like Illinois.
I didn't even think of Indiana.
I know. As you were like going through them, I was like, he forgot Indiana's in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm. Give me another.
SEC. This one should be easy.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah. And Big 12.
There's so many new teams in the Big 12.
This is an old school Big 12 team. I believe Big 8 even. Yeah, they were also Big 8.
No way. Has Iowa State never won 10 games?
Iowa State has never won 10 games.
Pretty good. I got them.
That's a good one.
Huh. They've never won 10?
Never. Campbell got them to 9. McCartney got them to 9. I think there's only one other 9-win season in their history. And
that's interesting.
Those are your 3 teams that have never won 10 games in the Power Conference. There is a handful.
D-Rock just batting 1,000. Hey, you can't self-gloss to sit up on fire. Well, you have to let me say that.
Rutgers has 2. Duke only has 1. Purdue only has 1. NC State only has 1.
I was at no point was ever going to say Duke.
Indiana only has 1. Or excuse me, Virginia only has 1. Indiana has 0.
Meet Virginia.
Like train?
No. I remember watching like iconic big in the thick of high school, iconic like Virginia FSU.
Like 95?
Yeah.
The Barbers?
Yeah, that was a Thursday night, I remember.
Tiki.
I was in college then because we had Thursdays for us were like the good day because you had like run throughs and a short practice, and then they wanted you to get home. Like, I think at one point, somebody smarter than me will have to tell me, so virtually anybody else that played at Nebraska, but I think we could take our food home then on Thursday nights.
So instead of eating in the
training table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get as many things as you could get in one styrofoam container. Oh, it was the thing never closed.
It's like
they would put saran wrap around it was hilarious.
It's like the last day of a garage sale, whatever you can fit in the bag for $5.
I just missed that at a grocery store too.
Yeah.
But it looked like a great deal. I think you got 20 or 30% off of anything that was frozen that you could get in one bag.
Okay.
I can't remember where it was. It was maybe last week. And I was like, shoot, I should do that. But then I'm like, what do we eat out of the freezer except Zoe and frozen pizza?
Just load up on frozen pizzas for Zoe.
And I don't think it was the place that had the tempura chicken nuggets because she would eat those too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
interesting. That's fewer. That's actually fewer than I thought, though.
Yeah, there's 4 more with just 1. So that's probably where we're thinking some of them where you're like, hey, these,
I'm excited, and I'm glad we get football early.
Yeah.
Although, Shane, aren't you going to Fan Day on Saturday?
It's exciting.
It's early. I think it's 11 to 12:30.
I think that's right. Something like
so
that.
I can show my true fandom. I can get autographs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What I need you to do after I give you this winner later on with the Warhorse segment, put some gas in the Arco, from the Arco and take Zoe down so she can see her brother. Because I'll be at school.
And that's totally on me.
You guys don't do that?
Zoe and I hanging out?
Yeah. She's not really in a car seat anymore, so you'd be straight.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Sometimes she'll use a little booster if she feels like she can't see.
I can't read.
Anybody gonna want to talk to him anyway, so you should be able to get right to him. What? Are you going? Are you not going?
I don't think I'm going.
Are you a Fan Day guy?
No, I've never been to a Fan Day.
Me neither, as a non-player.
I mostly, and this is not.
Does it seem like it's flying under the radar? If I'm Nebraska, shoot, I'd tell as few people as possible because I don't want to deal with it either.
Just want to get out of
there. Yeah, so especially when you're this close to games, because I remember we would
late this year.
We would just finish. It does. It does feel late, and maybe it's right. I have to ask Keith.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it does feel late.
Normally, it feels like it's closer to the start of camp.
Yeah, and you listen as a player, you want to get
it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to feel like it almost kicked off camp.
Well, and we would have Coach O would we'd practice early.
Mhm.
Then he'd say, go shower. Your jerseys are laid out. And it was a lot more accessible back then. Now they've got it quarantined
Yeah,
better.
tightened
and
it up a little
you
bit.
can only go walk certain ways and stuff like
It
that.
used to be kind of a free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming, especially when you have people phobia.
By the time it got to the point where I could take myself, it kind of felt like it's more for kids, and I didn't want to be. I don't know. I'm always.
You know what? I don't know about that.
I know a lot of adults go, and I'm not.
You know what I mean?
I'm not disparaging anyone that did.
I think we kind of miscalculated that. There are a lot of adults. Man.
I feel odd being an adult autograph seeker.
I should look at the fine print if you pulled it up. Is it still like one item?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked. I know it used. I knew they used to have a limit. I don't know what it is now.
You don't necessarily have to go if you're an adult to get autographs. I mean, you could go there as an adult and
just yuck it up.
Just yuck it up. Just wish them luck.
That also feels odd to me. I don't know.
It does.
I mean, like, what am I? I'm just going to talk to him.
Fudge.
Like, it feels like awkward that I would just go up and be like, "Oh, I don't have anything to resign. I just want to talk to you." Like, that seems like it would be strange to me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying this is just like my gut reaction because Shane just threw me a curveball. It'd be like if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, man, just want to wish you the best. Best wishes this season." A lot of people say good luck, but
yeah,
and I don't want to be the idiot that says, "I don't believe in luck."
But you're doing it right now.
Yes, because people know me now.
No, I know.
Like nobody ever says to me good luck because I'm old enough now where I'm gonna be like, knock it off.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I personally would feel awkward.
Yeah.
It's not that I think you shouldn't do it.
Let's not act like you don't have some man crushes now.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I for sure. But
whose line you getting in first? Be honest.
Does Coach Rule have a line?
Oh, here we go.
I love Coach Rule.
Yes, I do.
Like that's yeah.
Yes.
If that's an option, sign me up.
Yeah.
As far as players,
shoot, Cody said he's taking Stetson down. I wonder if Zoe would roll with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
She might. Listen, she's quick to say stranger danger.
And listen, there are certain people that I would ask an autograph from in my life, like that. I have, like, if I ran into Peter Warwick, I'd ask for his autograph. Like, that's a childhood thing.
Yeah.
I just, as someone now, and you cover the team and stuff, like, I would feel awkward going as like an autograph seeker.
Is that a security thing?
Probably. Yeah.
Coach Rule is the guy.
Yeah. If I'm going to talk to anybody, it's Coach Rule.
Yeah. I think I would just go talk. Like, I would talk to either Malcolm or Dvorak.
Didn't you guys just get done talking Coach Rule? I mean, what do you think that's stocking?
Stocking?
Listen, that's been like a month.
Like the syndrome? What is stocking?
He probably
think you hang on your chimney?
Wrapping up hour number 1 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here on the Pillar Exterior stage. And as we get into the show here today, we've got a lot of football to cover.
I know. It's Football Friday.
It is a Football Friday. It feels a little bit unusual because Nebraska's not playing yet. We're kind of getting used to that.
I'm cool with that.
I'm glad they're not on week 0.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little unusual. Like college football feels like it's starting without them.
Are you making yourself something to eat as you sit down in front of the television tomorrow morning?
No, I think we're going over to Ryan's house.
Like Omaha Ryan? Like Peters?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a friend.
My Seminoles.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, we're friends.
Man, I know that dude rides with you. I think it's because he thinks you keep me in line. He has no idea. Whatever it is that you do, I allow you to do it. That's cute. That's very cute.
Yeah, he's like, hey, we got a little Seminole group. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Oh, my gosh. That is weird.
What?
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I wonder what he's going to do. So I used to always go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is obviously before I was pot committed. But and he always lived clear across town from me. And he kind of moved by me, but then I was kind of settling down. But he always had like good food.
Yeah, he sent me like I asked him if I needed to bring anything, and he said, "Not unless you feel like it." And they sent me the sign-up sheet. There's like people that have like already.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's like,
That's how he does it.
yeah, he's got it. He's got it on lockdown. So
And he's always been in like nice places, so
Mhm.
he'll have like set up on the bar, and he's got like multiple TVs, and yeah, it's a legit time.
yeah, I got to figure out what I'm bringing. 'Cause I feel weird. I feel awkward not bringing anything, especially
Yeah.
like kind of my first time. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I remember one time, I think it was March Madness, and I think the only thing I had was 750 milliliters. So I was like,
Hey, at least you brought something.
when it was like a rainy day
Mhm.
on a Thursday or Friday, and he had this nutty dog, and his dog was driving me crazy. But it was like the whole day.
Yeah,
So I mean, that was my excuse.
not a big dog guy.
I love dogs.
I know. I'm just kidding. I know. I've watched your dogs.
Yeah. Oh man, I love dogs.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go.
I've never had a female dog though.
Really?
No.
My favorite dog of all time was female. She's the one that passed in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was my OG. I probably wouldn't do another one because the boys are easier to deal with. Like she had a lot more going on in terms of like temperament, and she was a little
Sounds a
more,
lot like life.
She had a little more attitude than the boys do. Boy dogs are just dumb and happy. They're just thrilled to death to be.
I feel like I resemble that remark. I'm never gonna tweet the lineup out, so I quit.
Probably not. No, that's all
I've
right.
tried. This is like my 6th time.
Tim Verghese,
Yep.
Mike Sautter,
Yeah.
Matt Vrzal.
Uh-huh.
I tweeted it
It's
out. You retweeted my tweet out.
Yeah, I don't like doing that. I like to have my own.
Oh, you like
thing.
to be your own guy over there?
Well, I mean, I feel like I should. I mean, since I can't obviously clearly read any endorsements, which I've made a good living for 20 years, I feel like I need to be contributing to the show somehow.
You're just showing up every day. It's great. We love it.
Fudge. Don't hold your breath.
I can't. I'm not a big swimmer.
You certainly aren't anymore.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, I get it.
I'm gonna stop.
It's all right. DB was making a joke because I went and got snipped.
So what? Didn't exactly have to.
I mean, I don't want people to feel like we're keeping things from them.
That thing wet.
I don't want kids, so I took care of it.
It won't matter. Anyway, let me see.
Let
You seem very hurt right
This is what happens with me. But I do have a question though. Can we go back to what's on the sign-up sheet?
Oh yeah,
That is
look,
so him to have a sign-up sheet.
I don't know if
What
it's
a-
him or it's like part of. There's like
So the one thing you don't have to worry about
Mhm.
is there's going to be protein, because you know how sometimes I can't stand when you have people over to do something and they bring like chips, the paper plates,
Mhm.
in potato salad. Like spend the extra $12 and mix in a protein.
yeah, they've got what do we have here? Somebody's got baked beans. Somebody's got chips and dip. We got dessert covered. We got a macaroni / pasta salad.
Dessert.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dessert?
It says dessert on here. I don't know. I'm new to this. This is my
Okay,
this is my
keep going.
First time.
Keep going.
And then we got miscellaneous dish to share. So I don't know if Ryan's like taking care of the protein on his own and people are just bringing sides.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this list here. But we'll see. I don't know.
Desserts. That's cute.
I mean, it was after the game, or maybe you get some salty snacks. You're like, I can use something sweet. That's what the Nutter Butters are here for today.
Boy.
Have my salty snacks, and then
Desserts. You guys are cute.
I mean, who doesn't like desserts?
Me.
What normal people don't like desserts?
Is that a thing? Like it?
I think normal people like desserts.
I ridiculed a guy
For
for
what?
that once.
For what? Eating dessert or bringing dessert?
Well, we had a fight party.
Yeah.
It went well into the wee hours of the night.
Yeah.
And he brought cookies.
I think that's a great call. You never just like, man, I've had a couple drinks, had some like salty snacks. Like, oh, cookie sounds good.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Cookies,
don't know.
cookie sounds
I at no point, unless I was 9, have I ever wanted cookies at night before I went to bed.
Cookies are great.
No.
I think it's probably about 8.
Cookies are great. I think you're in the minority on this one.
Weird.
I know it's not a normal position for you to be in, but I think you're on the outside looking.
Wait a minute, DK lasagna. What
For a party? For like a what?
You guys? Shane, what are you doing for Nebraska's game?
Oh, come on, Shane.
Are you going to hang out with the neighbors? Do we have Nebraska game plans? Do you have plans
for the Nebraska game?
Yeah,
I'm going to the Nebraska game.
Oh, that's a good plan.
I got the credential and the whole thing. Like it's a
You enjoy your hot dog.
Man, I will. I love hot dogs.
See, my man JB, he's got sense.
Hot dogs are
He's
great.
out on dessert too.
Hot Danger says DB's anti-dessert stance is weird.
Is it?
Yeah. You don't have
he doesn't strike me as the type of dude that's going for the desserts either.
You don't have to eat the desserts, but it's not weird that they're there.
It's an 11 o'clock kick.
Yeah.
Does that not matter?
So you're done by like 2:30,
and then it's dessert
You're
time.
telling me sometime like mid-afternoon after you've eaten some.
I'm not at home in the mid-afternoon.
Okay. Well, your personal schedule doesn't really impact other people.
It's an early morning game.
Right. Well, it's like a midday game. 11 is like midday. What we do is early morning.
On what 24-hour clock do you reside?
The middle of the day. Like 11 to 1 is like the middle of the day.
Okay. All right.
It's on the other side of noon, you know? So, DB, you start at midnight.
Uh-huh.
That's 12.
Right.
That means halfway through is noon because that's the other 12. So middle of the day is the time around 12.
Denny, I can't read that.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Lasagna. What is
Who's
wrong?
bringing lasagna? That's way weirder than dessert.
My man DK is.
Lasagna is way weirder than dessert. Way weirder. Lasagna?
I don't know who's.
I like lasagna.
So is it just a testosterone thing or significant others coming?
I have no idea.
I just wonder who's the person that's bringing the dessert.
I mean, I'm probably not going to
No.
name because I don't know.
But
I was curious. I don't know. I didn't look.
I'm just curious.
I mean, it was signed up. People bring desserts.
Maybe Ryan's baking.
Some cookies, maybe. It'd be weird. Like certain desserts would be weird. It'd be weird if they rolled out like 20 creme brulees at a football party. That'd be odd.
Hey, have you tried my tiramisu?
Yeah, like if he's out there with like the torch and he's like getting the crust on the creme brulee, like that'd be strange. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But there's like desserts is a wide variety.
Hey, does everybody have the friend that brings like?
It'd be weird if there was like a pie.
You know, you kind of get shamed into what to bring and what not to bring, and so they're like, "Oh shoot, man, I'll bring meat," and it's inevitably the Little Smokies.
I love Little Smokies. I'm not mad about it. Little Smokies are great.
I'll take it.
See how easy I am to be around?
Yes,
I just like
yeah,
everything.
Yeah, it's your personality. It's very inviting.
Always looking at the bright side.
Let me know the next time we won't ever be watching a game together.
Man, I'm trying to watch games with you all the time or fights. And like,
They're usually in public, except the time we snuck to Pisons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, that was only like 5 of us. Was
Yeah.
that Porter?
Yeah, that was Porter. That wasn't a big group.
I even sat in the corner then.
I know.
It's my seat.
Just antisocial, even around people you like.
It is what it is.
We'll just see where it goes.
Did you?
Trapped in SEC country says he's disappointed if there's no dessert.
Is he? Maybe that's. Listen. Full disclosure. I'm not saying I'm right. Maybe I am weird. It's not the first time I've said that.
I think you're not a big dessert person, so it would never occur to you.
Yeah, I just don't think.
Like you don't crave.
I don't think watch parties dessert.
I think it's like handheld.
Like maybe if it's like the 4th of July or it's a holiday or something. I don't know if I think sporting event dessert.
I view like a 4th of July menu and a sporting event menu almost identical. Like burgers, hot dogs, some sides, some
dessert,
some cookies. Yeah. Although I'm not doing like apple pie at a football party.
And that's really the only good game of the day.
Yeah.
Although there is a lot of intrigue it's a total degenerate game, but like SMU and Nevada.
Yeah, no, Nevada's going to get their head beat in. Nevada's not very good.
Yeah.
But that's probably the other game I'll watch most closely. I'm probably not getting real tuned up.
You a big Stone guy?
A big what?
SMU quarterback.
Oh, yeah. I like SMU.
What you think I said? Are you stoned?
I don't. It didn't register in my brain. I was
Sometimes you act like it though.
well, so I have a buddy named Evan Stone, and so I was like, yeah, Evan's great. I don't know.
Pocket full of.
Kicking off hour number 2 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here on the Pillar Exterior Stage. We are joined now by Tim Verghese of Inside Nebraska. Tim, how are you this morning? Oh, I think you're on mute, bud.
We're good now. We're good.
Yeah.
There he is, you seasoned veteran. You
went full Brian Edwards on us on that one. That's a joke for the folks that are, day one listeners.
Yeah.
Tim, how are you today?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. Cannot complain. How are y'all?
Good. Let me ask. So
Hold on. Before we get into,
I'm not gonna do the dessert thing.
No, before we get into not important stuff, Tim, is it weird to bring desserts to a football watch party? Like cookies. I'm not talking like gourmet desserts, just like cookies.
I mean, I personally don't think so, just because I'm a cookie guy.
See?
Fellow
cookie guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a sugar cookie guy. I'm a snickerdoodle guy. I'm like a chocolate.
You're like looking to see who brought the cake, huh, Tim?
Yeah.
I mean, the heck with the ribs, burgers, and brats, man. Where's the cake?
The cookies come after the main dish, DB. Nobody's like, hey, you should have cookies for your meal.
Bro, it's an 11 a.m. kick, man. How do you have cookies on the brain?
You don't until like 2, and then you're like, oh, man, I wish somebody brought some cookies. And then Tim comes through, and he's like, boom, I got you.
Yeah.
Tim, full disclosure, this started because two FSU honks are having a watch party together. And my first SEC honk buddy is so OCD. He has a sign-up list of what to bring, so you don't have too much of one thing. And so somebody already signed up for desserts, and I was like, it's an 11 a.m. kick. Like, how is that even remotely important? And then we got here, but apparently I'm talking to a bunch of cookie monsters. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think you're the weird one here, DB.
Probably. TK called me disagreeable. Let me ask you something here, Tim, just because I was joking with Ravi, because I always joke about coaching man crushes, and we're talking about Fan Day tomorrow, which seemingly has flown under the radar. If TV was going to go to Fan Day and he wants to just talk, coach or player, and you get your 15, 20 minutes to just talk, where are you stopping first?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Lines being equal.
Yeah, I would say, can I say 2?
Sure, because it's something Ravi would do, so I'm used to it.
I only gave one answer here.
I will say, I think
Ravi gave Coach Rule, which I thought, I get it, you got a crush on him, but he's already told you so much.
Right.
I
would do my first stop is John Butler. I'm so
Brilliant.
curious by his just the first time we heard him speak. I'm all the way in. I'm a defensive backs guy. Just that's just my position, just in terms of scouting and everything. That's the one I really hone in on, and I really like his mentality and eye for the game. I just want to learn kind of what he's looking for, and more just get a feel for who he is as a coach. I think coach wise, he's the first person I'd be going to. Player wise, I want to see more about Vincent Shavers. Everyone talks about him. I want to see how he's wired.
That's a good deep pull.
Yeah, so you took it from a very professional football standpoint. I just want to be best friends with Matt Rule. So that's all I'm looking for in that situation. I don't need information. I just want to hang out with him. So I applaud you for giving a real answer. But
the cool thing about you saying Butler, because he's captivating, is and I watch a lot of your write-ups, and I love the pieces that you do. You guys do those deep dives about, it started with the newcomers, and then you'll do position breakdowns, and you base it on your evals, which I actually get the sense, I'm like, oh, these guys know football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I think the thing that I would like to watch or see you maneuver, just especially if you went first, is how we would get around like his delivery style, because it is very businessy. It is very practical. He has a tremendous football IQ. I always wonder how those back and forths go with those people that are like high level thinkers that aren't really. We haven't even really seen his personality yet in terms of how engaging he is or isn't. We know he can teach clearly because his secondary appears to love him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at least in my experience, just like whenever I've been able to just like hone in and talk ball with the coach, has always been just like straight up just asking like ball questions, like not trying to like don't dodge any, you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying like make a layered question or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just straight up just be like, okay, like you're recruiting safeties. What are you looking for specifically from a free safety versus a strong safety? When you're cross training a guy, like what makes you think a guy's a better corner than he is a safety? Like just picking his brain and getting those. So just so I know how he's wired as well and how he's thinking about these things.
Tim, we're just going to talk you and me here for a second, and we'll leave DB out of it.
Of course.
So you, I think, are the only person besides me that does one of these type jobs that have talked about Caleb Benning and the role that he might play in the secondary this year. I saw your video. You seem to think he might be a factor. I think he's going to be a factor. Like, what has led you to that spot?
Just seeing him in practice, seeing just again the way the staff has talked about him early on, and just he just kind of figures to make an impact. I mean, like we were at open practice last week, and I texted Damon immediately because none of us got clips of it because we were told not to record then. But we walked in and they're in like 11-on-11 scrimmage, and he's making a beautiful play on the ball and just like knocking it up in the air, giving his another safety a chance to make a play at it. And just plays through their hands really well. Just a very good and just again just translates from his high school days. Very good instinctual football player, and I think the staff the staff loves to play guys with high IQ, and this is and Caleb's a guy with the really high IQ that like is not going to miss a beat. We just had this discussion yesterday actually with Steve Mayer, because Steve put up a story on Caleb yesterday. But Steve and me were messaging back and forth because one of the fans on the message board was like even with the depth in the room, I still could see, because of the depth in the room, I could see Caleb redshirting, and I was like, I don't think so, just because I think he's going to get. I feel like people forget how much the staff rotates on defense. He's going to find a way to just fit into that rotation more than 4 games, and on top of that, I think he's just going to be like a factor in the in like special teams. He's going to find a way to be a factor on the field, I think, this year.
So I'm going to go ahead and bypass this. That's cool. How do you separate Tim, secondary guy? That's why one of the reasons I like talking to you, because for years that would be the first place that I would go watch. Right? Mm-hmm. I liked, it's just Coach Pelini was hands-on in the secondary. T. Fish was hands-on in the Fish secondary. So I just like that play on the back end because it's more than just covering. What do you think ultimately separates guys like, Charles and Tarver and Amari Sanders, kind of like that, even Sierra Wright to some degree, because I think he's close to being next up too. Like, what do you think separates those guys? Is it the tackling portion? Is it the physicality? Because I know you guys pay close attention to how much the coaches talk about. We just don't have time for missed tackles out there. Like, you have to play with a certain level of physicality.
I actually don't. I like just talking about those 4 specifically, or those 4 names. I think more than the tackling ability, it's the pure cover skill. Like, all of those guys have seen it at a high level. Like Sanders and Tarver played in South Florida, where they're going up against these elite corners. Sierra's obviously done it at USC, but then before that, he was playing, in elite leagues in California. Jeremiah has not seen it as much, but he's from Texas. He's from 6A. He primarily played receiver down there. He's a really, really good athlete, and you watch him in coverage, and you see a guy that like is just ridiculously sticky. And that's the one thing that like I think shines through with all 4 of those guys in the practices we've seen, is all 4 of those smooth hips, stay in phase, like rarely get caught out of phase, like have I would say Jeremiah, Sierra, and Amari kind of have the length to make up when they do fall, kind of a little bit out of phase. Like whether that's like Sierra's like right around 6 foot, maybe a bit shorter, but his wingspan is ridiculous. Like you watch him like just get into his stance and his fingers are like dangling below his knees. Like he's ridiculously long. And Sanders is like a legit 6'1", 6'2". Tarver's big to his credit. Jeremiah's got really long limbs. He's like 6'1", bouncy athlete. Like that's a guy that just doesn't have a whole lot of experience, and tackling is a question with him. Tackling is a question with some of these guys. But they're really good in coverage, and Nebraska is going to need guys that are real good in coverage week 2 when Colorado comes to town.
I shouldn't also leave out Little Boodle too.
Yes,
right?
Of course, and that's the exact same thing there. And Boodle to his credit,
he's
too.
tough.
Yeah, and he's got some physicality to him.
We're talking with Tim Verghese of Inside Nebraska. Tim, we had this question come in on our YouTube stream, and so I thought I would relay it over to you. If you had to point to a biggest concern heading into the season for Nebraska, something that, I don't know if keeps you up at night, but somewhere in that neighborhood, where would you start looking?
Man, I mean, even after this conversation we just had, to me, it still does feel like there still is that question at cornerback too. I feel like there's enough bodies in that room to address that position, and I think it does. Like at least by mid-season, you find some type of answer and solution. You have like this top 5 or 6 group at the DB position that you feel confident in, but I mean, early on in the year, you're just going to get tested that position. Like UTEP's going to be like a fast offense. Like there's going to be a point in that game where Nebraska's defense is kind of on their heels trying to keep up from a play speed standpoint. And then you go into Colorado where they're 5-6 deep at receiver, where they've got weapons, and so that's like Nebraska's going to have athletic guys that can stick in coverage against those weapons. And so you're tested early, and I think that's a question early on because I think we've said it a couple of times on the show, like for what Nebraska wants to do on the recruiting trail and on the field, like they have to start the year out strong. September has to go well. And with the test coming in, I think the biggest question for me right now is that cornerback 2 spot. I think another obviously area of concern is left tackle, just like how that gets filled. But I don't think you're as tested there early on in the year as you are at the receiver position, where you're going to need some good cover corners.
So, Tim, let me ask you something. How do you look at the upside at the young wide receiver spot? Because as it relates to recruiting, Nebraska is going to be in on some good young talent. They're clearly in on some good young talent, 2026, 2027s. But you have guys like Quinn Clark, you have guys like Carter Nelson, like you have guys like Ja'Cory Barney, first-year guys that kind of drip that, with Mosey coming in next year. It can get deep in a hurry. Do the young receivers need to show early for similar, hey, look at these guys? Or do you think that's a position, because of the abundance throughout the country, that they can bring along as they come?
I think that's a position that is getting to that point now where you can bring them along as they come, just because that is a position that rapidly, because of the rise of 7-on-7, because of a bunch of different, just passing offenses have grown so much. That's a position that is not as hard to find. And I think what Nebraska does a good job of is they are very particular. Like, again, like they took a flyer on Quinn Clark when, that spot could have gone to someone in the region. That spot could have gone to someone else. But now you've got the 6'6" bouncy athlete that if you can tap into that long-term potential, there's not a whole lot of guys. Like he moves real well for 6'6". Like he breaks in and out really well at that size, has good foot speed. Like usually you see a guy that big. Like that was the big question with Johnny Wilson, which for those that remember, Nebraska was recruiting Johnny Wilson since he was a freshman. He was part of the Calabasas team that had Keyshawn Johnson Jr., Buki Radley-Hiles, and all of that. And I remember back then, the big question with Johnny was at 6'6", 6'7", the foot speed just wasn't there early on in high school. And with Quinn, and even in college, that was something that he kind of had to develop at Florida State. It was just like being able to win off the line. With Quinn, he's got quick feet already, and he's light on his feet. He can break really well. has good ankle flexibility, good hips. And so if you can tap into just him getting to do some of the true wide receiver stuff really well, like that's something that you can't find anywhere in the country. Like that, those are the rare like receiver types. Like you don't find the 6'6" receivers that can bounce and move really well like he does. You look at a guy like Carter Nelson, like that's a guy that you can't really find. Like it may take a bit for him. Like I think he's going to contribute in some form or fashion this year, but to be a true every down receiver may take a bit for him. And that's something I think Nebraska's going to be willing to be like, hey, come along as you can, because once we get you up to speed, again, you have athleticism and these combination of traits that we're just not going to really be able to find in other places, or we're going to have to like really compete to land those type of guys. Like if you look for a Carter Nelson, like in the 26 class, for example, I think there's 4 or 5 names you could point to and be like, okay, that guy can kind of replicate what Carter Nelson does. But those guys are out of the region and have like the Bamas and the Georgias and the Notre Dames and the Oregons on them and the Ohio States on them. And meanwhile, Nebraska's got a Carter Nelson right now that they can develop in their own time. And in a year or two, he can be your go-to wide receiver one.
We're talking with Tim Verghese, Inside Nebraska. Tim, as you look at some of the other position groups, we talked a lot of DBs, talked a lot of wide receivers. Is there any other group that you kind of see in the same realm as the wide receivers, in the sense of you've got some young guys with an opportunity to really showcase their physical talents that might be a little bit ahead of some other groups?
I think DB is another one, just because of the amount of young bodies there are in there. There's so many versatile body types, and you look at the class they have coming in. Jeremiah Jones, who's like a 6'4", 6'5", big safety, could be a linebacker, fits into multiple different spots in that room. Bryson Weber, who's a 6'3", like true cover corner, who like I think is very similar to Jeremiah Charles in the sense of converted receiver who's still figuring out the nuances of the position. Like they've got some like versatility in that room, and guys that like and just a good mix of bodies currently on campus as well, where like it's going to be a fight. Like that's the other part with this receiver, like you were saying, with recruiting down the line, you're going to add talent. We want to get to a point where young guys have to come in and earn spots. Like right now, like Ja'Cory Barney, for example, and Jalen Lloyd, they both came in and they're so electric and dynamic. They kind of figured to factor into it already. What you want down the line is like, a guy like Isaiah Mosey comes in and it's just like, okay, year one, you're going to have to compete for this wide receiver 4 or wide receiver 3 spot. Like you want to get to that point as a team because that's what the elite teams do. Like at Texas, at Bama, at Georgia, at all of that. It's like their wide receiver 5'6" is better than most teams' wide receiver 2-3, and that's just a result of being an elite program. And I think Nebraska wants to get to that point where, okay, like 2 years from now, okay, they were able to land, Jaden McGregory, top 4-star safety out of West Des Moines Valley, and he's going to have to come in and he's going to have to compete against Caleb Benning. He's going to have to compete against Jeremiah Jones. He's going to have to compete against 3-4 different guys at the safety spot to try and earn some playing time.
It's interesting. I go back to the comments that Coach Rule kind of intimated, and I even said, really, it was like, hey, there are going to be some talented players, young guys that may just not play. That doesn't mean that you're not going to play or going to be good. It's just we're starting to get in a position where like real quality depth is a real thing.
Yeah. And again, that's where you want to be as a program. Like, again, I know people get like with the portal and everything, people get a little nervous about, okay, we've got this talented player that didn't play this much. Is he going to leave for greener pastures? What you hope as well with this is Rule and his staff have done a good job building relationships and being authentic and genuine with these guys on the timeline for them to see the field, the timeline for all of that. They've been very transparent on what a player has to do to see the field and what that timeline kind of looks like. That you hope all of that helps them retain some of this talent and allow them to develop down the line. Because that's the toughest thing right now is with the portal, you are getting like you develop a guy for 2-3 years. He's in the rotation. All of a sudden, like Kentucky comes in and is just like, okay, hey, we need depth at DB. Let's go just get this guy out of Nebraska. You know what I mean? Or we need depth here. Let's go get this guy out of Nebraska. And so what you hope is guys are able to to stick. And I think the staff's done a good enough job with the relationship building that you are able to do that, because you want, this staff prides himself on development. They pride themselves on finding these diamond in the roughs and turning them into future NFL draft picks. And they want to stick to that, even as they, continue to have success on the recruiting trail and are no longer solely involved with hidden gems. Like they're going out there and they're within it for 15, 16 4-star recruits. I mean, I just wrote up, the Rivals just updated the top 250 and ahead look in 2026, and Nebraska's in on 18 of those guys, those are 18 guys right there that Nebraska realistically could land. That could be the majority of the classes, top 250 guys, if everything breaks right for them. So this is one of those things where I think as a program, they need to kind of figure out how to communicate that to guys down the line as they do start recruiting, because it's easier to sell a Bryson Weber, a guy that was unranked and Nebraska was the first offer for. It's easier to sell him on, hey man, you might have to sit a year or two, but you're going to see the field. We do have a vision for you. Than it is for you to tell, Sierra Wright, a top 200 or top 100, former top 100 recruit that transferred in, that'd be hey, you're going to have to compete for a spot. And, it may take a year or two before you see the field. He's coming here. He came here to play. You know what I mean? He wants to see the field this year. He wants to be able to make a name for himself, where he's able to stick into that DB rotation for the next year or two before he, hopefully reaches the goals he wants to.
It's interesting. Coach Rule said there's 3 things that he thinks about during the season, right? Obviously his players, the players as family, and recruiting, right? He kind of just narrows the scope once the season starts. And I always look at that based on who, if you want to capitalize on Dylan, I think it's pretty important that Dylan has good success, right? We couldn't do that sans the post Ndamukong Suh era. And there are just those positions. But one that kind of gets overlooked, Tim, that I think they may need to start to play a certain way because of who they're in on going forward is running backs. What role, if Coach Rule, if recruiting is important, it is about, he knows what he's doing, right? He'd like to look and say, hey, you could be hey, this is how we envision. Hey, this is part of the development. What kind of role do the running backs, in your opinion, have to play, considering who they're in on over these next 2 recruiting cycles?
Yeah, that's something I'm still trying to get a good read on too, just because again, I think something that's shifted a good bit recently, and I think the average fan doesn't understand. Something we've tried to communicate is you don't need to be a bell cow back. And in fact, a lot of these top running backs don't want to be these bell cow go-to backs. They want to show enough in college to get drafted high while also maintaining some tread on their tires, because the NFL looks at that now. The NFL looks at how many carries you had out of high school. There's a threshold they look for where it's I believe the numbers, if you get over 600 carries in high school, that's just from precedent, that just does not bode well down the line for you injury-wise. You look at this year alone, the top 2 running backs in 2 cycles ago, Reuben Owens and Cedric Baxter. The one's at Texas, one's at Texas A&M. They were number 1 and number 2, the only 2 5-star backs in that class. Both of them, Cedric neared 600 carries. Reuben cleared 600 carries. Both were pretty much the go-to weapon in the offense. The offense was solely built around them. And both are done for the year with knee injuries. Oh, and that's just, it's a bad precedent when you get over 600 carries in high school. I believe that number is closer to 500 or so in college, where they don't like that number long term. And so it's one of those things that, for Nebraska, it's okay, we're going to pitch you on working into the rotation, getting enough snaps to show something. And then this year, they want a top 3. They want a three backs they can kind of rely on and go down the line. And I think that's something that they can pitch down the line to recruits. For example, in 2025, you've got Jamarian Parker and you've got Connor Booth. Jamarian Parker's more of a flashy, outside the tackles, can create in space.
Yeah, 10, 400 meter guy.
Right. And Connor Booth's a guy that can run between the tackles, can lower his shoulder into some guys, and has that home run hitting ability where, if something's open, he can get downfield. But you complement those guys off of each other, and you're like, hey, we're not recruiting you to be the go-to guy or you to be the go-to guy. We're recruiting you two together to help our rushing attack as a team. It's all about the team at the end of the day. And I think what they want to do is be able to showcase all of these guys in specific roles, in these small enough roles. And I think this staff's relationships and getting to coach Christian McCaffrey for the time they were able to has helped them change their minds and shift their vision, I think, on what running back looks like in the future and what they're looking for at that position.
That's Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska. Great stuff as always, Tim. We will talk to you next week.
Thanks, TV.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back with more Hurrdat Sports Radio coming up next. Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, where you can join us next week for our live show, pregame breakfast.
Yep. Bring your sugar cookies and dessert, baby.
Yeah, dessert for breakfast is a little weirder.
Is that a word?
Weirder? Yeah, it's like more weirder, weirdest.
I know what you are. That's a weirdo. Bring on the
So
sugar
we've
cookies.
established that sugar or cookies and desserts are not a
I'm
not
totally
a snack item.
I'm totally with not a joke in our YouTube stream. He said if you want to bring dessert, fine.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be on the sign-up sheet.
Well, if you're a thorough person, everything's going to be on the sign-up sheet.
He is highly organized.
Yeah.
You wait till you see he will not disappoint you. Wait till you see the setup.
I'm excited.
It will look like a professional.
I'm sure it'll be great.
It
Just like our pregame breakfast is going to be great.
I know
On Friday.
Well, they have you see this every morning with me where I'm just tempted to get breakfast and I never do.
Yeah.
I will not.
You're going to crush some bacon?
Yeah, if they have it, I'll eat whatever the protein is.
Yeah, I think they're going to have lots of different stuff. You got lots of options.
And they have some of the greatest to-go containers ever.
Very good to-go containers.
Yes.
Yeah. But make sure you get signed up, eventbrite.com, search for Hurrdat Sports, and you will be able to reserve your spot. You'll just order your breakfast or drink or whatever you want when you get here. Presented by EP Foundation Repair. Come hang out with me and DB and get ready for Nebraska football.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
I'm ready.
It's exciting.
You're going
ready
to stand
to go now?
No, well,
you ready?
That's why I can't believe you shoot your shot just going down to be besties with Coach Rule, man. Go get some go glean some insight. I like Tim's deal about Butler.
Yeah, he had a good answer.
But Butler's so businessy though, right? It would be like
somebody in the stream said they'd go try and get Rayola to say more than 5 words.
Donnie?
Yeah.
Best wishes.
I know. My thought was, I bet you can say more than 5 words. I bet you couldn't say more.
But
than
then
3
you
of them on the
watch
air.
him with his players and family and his little kid. Like he's a really good dude.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I would start with Dvorak, but Butler's a good one.
I feel like you would hang out with Sat. You love Sat.
I do, but we wouldn't get anything done.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get anything done. I'm just trying to hang out.
Yeah.
You love Sat.
I do.
That's your guy.
I do like him a lot.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think there's a lot of likable guys.
He's good natured.
Yeah.
Well, that's important too.
So, for sure. You know how much harder. I mean, we talked about this before, but you know how hard it is to coach with people you don't get along with.
Yeah, it's very, very. It's highly undervalued.
You spend so much time with those people.
I see it in high school all the time. It's like, yeah, those guys don't like. You can just tell.
Yeah.
You know, you got
to have some level of chemistry on a coaching staff.
Because of course kids see it.
Yeah, not just that, but also like you have to be able to work with these people.
It's a long time.
With a long season, long days. This whole thing is if you don't like somebody on your staff, you're in trouble. Like that's not great.
No, I agree with you.
But no,
it's funny you didn't say a player.
Oh, to go hang out with?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some interesting guys on the team.
One for me, and this kind of is weird because he just came up, but I referenced this while he was being recruited because I think I told you the story, how his uncle said, "Hey, can you get this over to Coach Rule?"
Yeah, I think so.
With Quinn Clark.
Yeah.
And I never heard back from Coach Rule for like 2 months, right? But then like a month later, like Quinn was getting ready to come camp, and Quinn came a couple of times, And the interesting thing with that is, do you remember the whole thing where we scrutinized when he said he wasn't sure, like, if he was good enough or he belonged?
yeah.
And it was in print, like on a recruiting
Yeah.
write-up, and everybody kind of, I won't say everybody, I'm sorry, I don't want to exaggerate.
No, but a lot of people
were like kind of rolled their eyes like,
why are we offering this guy?
why are we, is this a token gesture?
Yeah.
Like, but if you ask around, his talent doesn't have a ton of peers.
Well, that's what Tim was saying,
in
right?
this class.
There's not a lot of comps.
Doesn't. I'm not going to go as far as to say even the guy in state that is talked about in the same vein, because I think they're
different,
similar in frame, right, and all that. But I think I love the way Tim did the breakdown, which is why I like talking to him, because my favorite is when recruiting guys actually like really know football.
Yeah. They get into like the nitty gritty.
They watch movement. That's why I like talking to Schaefer, right?
Because a lot of the recruiting guys, and this is not a criticism.
It's based on information,
relationships,
and information that's relayed to them, right. But Tim likes to kind of get in that nitty gritty, and he talked about
it's more of a scout approach.
His footwork, getting in and out of his breaks, and how he, for a long guy, like he can bend really well, because you can't always just go get jump balls as a long guy.
No.
So being able to get in and out of breaks and top guys, what I would call top guys off, where you can get in a position to like stem them, as I'm like doing these dumb motions. Sorry for you stream people. They're like, this dude looks like he's breakdancing. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you have to be able to straighten guys up, or you watch these cone drills where you drop your pad level, because these DBs are so athletic now. You have to give them something.
Yeah.
You can't just be.
You're probably not just going to beat them.
And I mean, sometimes you see these guys in like high school, because they're taller and they just like kind of point up like, oh, throw it over my head. Like, those are bad habits to get into, but I'm not saying, hey, don't win games right now in the short term, but that's not going to cut it.
Not sustainable.
So when coaches look at that on highlight films, it's like, okay, like you got to be able to run routes.
What else can you do?
You have to be able to run routes.
Because the chance at some point, and it's probably in college, you're going to not be the most athletic person out there.
Yeah.
And what else can you do?
Hey, just throw it over this 5'6" high school corner's head, right?
Yeah.
But I get it I get it with high school coaches too, because their job is to win games right now.
For sure.
But sometimes that's why the wide receiver position is hard to evaluate in high school.
Yeah. I get that.
It just is. Because you can get into some easy habits in high school, right? Jalen Lloyd had to learn to run routes. He played wide receiver like a year and a half.
Yeah.
He got a lot of verticals.
I would say a lot of goes.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in college that can cover those.
Yeah, a lot of fast guys in college.
Right? So it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
So that was kind of his thing, changing planes. How did long jumping in track, how does that help me with my route running? What is hip flexion? Tim used a word that I use, a term I use quite a bit, where he talked about ankle flexion. Like, that's an incredible term, because ankle flexion is the bend. Like, what is
the degree to which you can bend your ankle while it is planted.
That's
and
big.
It's a really good indicator for athleticism and explosiveness.
That's big boy stuff.
Yeah. Like there's
that's big boy stuff right there.
Whenever you hear people talk about what, like, cleans especially, they're like, oh, it's the best lift for athleticism, stuff like that. The reason they believe that is because it creates they call it the triple flexion, the ankles, the knees, and the hips. You have to get flexion in all of those, so you're getting all of the explosive flexion movements at the same time in one lift.
This could kind of be terrible radio, but what's the thing that is it a protractor? What's the thing that measures angles?
The angles?
Yeah. So I'm basically talking about how small of an angle can you get your shin to where your shoelaces are?
Yeah. How can you
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%. That the smaller that angle can get, think of like a spring, right?
Yeah.
Recoils.
Yeah.
That is, and same thing with the hips. The more you can extend your hips in a movement, the more explosive you're going to be. It's it's just a chain, right? All through up your legs and into your kind of low back area. And that's the thing that a lot of guys miss when they're just, I know that's one of the reasons you push back on the track speed thing, right? a lot of guys can have straight line speed and not have great flexion in some certain areas.
Yeah, because what's the first thing you have to do when you have to change planes? You have to be able to. If I want to go from upright running motion to here,
ankles,
it's in your ankles and hips.
Yeah.
That's fundamentally the thing.
And the hips are the thing that I used to focus on a ton. Is like if you can open up the hips, you can change direction, right? Changing planes is a lot of ankles. Changing direction is a lot of hips. And if you don't got it, you're not gonna fool a lot of people in which direction you're going.
Yeah, I kind of like that segment. Just he's a smart dude.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back with more Hurrdat Sports Radio, wrapping up hour number 2 next. Wrapping up hour number 2 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla, and we are brought to you by our friends at Union Omaha. They've got another match tomorrow, August 24th, at Warner Park, 7 p.m. It's Wild Kingdom Night, presented by Mutual of Omaha. Make sure you get out to unionomaha.com to get your tickets to see Union Omaha take on the Richmond Kickers, 7 p.m. at Warner Park. Everything you need to know at unionomaha.com.
Big Richmond Kickers guy, are you?
Oh, big Richmond Kickers guy. Not as much as I am a dessert at tailgate parties guy, but
again, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave this right here. Do with it what you will.
Okay.
I simply asked, hey, are significant others invited? No implication here. I'm just trying to get a feel of the level of testosterone in the room. Okay. This is totally toxic male talk here.
Okay.
And what was on the sign-up sheet? And I'm just trying to figure out in my head who volunteered for the desserts. I don't think that's weird.
No, that's not the part that was weird. The weird part was you became very adamant that no one should want desserts at the watch party.
I felt like desserts being an option.
I don't think that's weird.
Okay.
That's
okay. I just want like people like Kellyanne to know like that tweet pictures of vegetables and
now the vegetable tray. I can agree. Get the vegetable tray out of here.
Like if it's 8 o'clock at night and
I don't care what
time Terrence getting ready to fight.
Yeah, I don't care what
time. And that's what you show up with at like the door. I'm probably gonna look at you sideways.
Yeah,
but I do understand there are people there that may want that.
The fruits and veggies I'm out on. You can miss me with the fruits and veggies. I'm not interested in those.
Desserts at a watch party doesn't seem strange to me now, but it would seem strange to me if it was at an actual tailgate, like if you were at the stadium.
Maybe some people only want cookies watching Georgia Tech score all the time.
Watching Haynes King throw a bunch of interceptions.
Yeah, I just don't know how they're going to stop the run.
I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
I mean, that's a mature offensive line over there in Dublin that resides in Tallahassee.
Pretty good defensive line for the for the Seminoles.
Keep an eye on Peyton.
Yeah,
our guy was glad I brought up Peyton because I feel like he is flying under the radar. That dude is a pro.
Lightning quick off the edge.
He is a certified pro.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he brought up yesterday, Matt Baker, the
touchdown maker, or is that Stephen Baker? Do you remember Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker?
I don't.
I believe he was a Giant.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Is that different than Thon McCour?
So is it McCour?
I think so.
Because I'm a big Maker guy.
Thon Maker?
Yeah.
I think it's McCour. I think. It's spelled like Maker.
Like McCour Stevenson?
Like Maker's Mark?
Yeah,
no,
not a
Shakur.
Not a fan,
Stevenson.
but I have
like liqueur.
We have a mutual friend.
Yeah, I'm aware.
That could really could just grab that thing by the handle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
is that the equivalent? Is that the brown version of Tito's? Like a middle of the pack thing that's
Maker's
actually
Mark?
yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Or is it more? I don't know that color. Is that high end? Is it middle? Is it the Tito's equivalent?
It's not super high end. It might be upper middle. Like class.
Oh gosh. Would you like some sugar cookies?
You got the 3-car garage, but it's not a mansion.
Do you know what I'm thinking of in my head?
What?
Why I can't get my mind around this?
Why?
I'm like, if I had like my coaches over, because once a deal coaches host.
Yeah.
I'm like, who of those 11 or 12 guys would bring the dessert? And I can't think of a one.
Tyler Rice.
I don't think so.
I'm just-
he would be the snack guy though.
He's the
Right? Rice would definitely be the snack guy.
He's the one I've probably interacted with the most outside of you.
But
so.
he's tiny.
Yeah. It's usually the little guys that bring cookies because they can eat whatever they want and they're fine.
I bet Sautter would bring cookies. I bet he would.
Only if Adrian Martinez is starting for his Jets.
Weird. Look who's on the television.
Look at he's
but look who's on the television.
He's like a kid. He's like
and if you blink, right now it's the Jets. If you blink, it'll be the Steelers.
He looks like a kid watching Paw Patrol right now.
Pupstruction. Shout out Daxton Dacey.
I don't know any of those names.
Pupstruction is a cartoon.
I'm just here.
Yeah.
I'm just out here.
Do you know why I want Robert Saleh to succeed?
Why?
Because he's a good-looking. I like the way that he looks on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's got
he looks like a guy I'd want to be led by.
He's got a vibe about him.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of his when he was at the 49ers.
Yeah, well, he was really good.
Really, really good. And I was like, oh, what are we
But
gonna
that
do?
defensive staff for that stretch
D'Amico on that
was
staff.
incredible.
Yeah, that was really good.
I mean, you had some guys that could teach.
You had some dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sad when they lost Saleh. I was sad when they lost
because
D'Amico.
quietly, you guys weren't all that sweet on the back end last year.
No.
It's a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, they need a little help back there. We'll see what happens.
You nervous?
Yeah. I think, we haven't really gotten into it yet, and we can maybe talk more about this next week, but I think they're a regression candidate this year, the 49ers.
Yeah.
I worry about, the age of Trent Williams. If he ever gets signed, I'm sure he will eventually. I worry about the health of Debo and Christian McCaffrey. I worry about the back.
Do you think they should just be able to find a way to slide him $4 million more a year?
Yes.
Because he's already making 20.
Yeah. Just do whatever you need to. It's fine. It's not my money. What do I care?
Hey, instead of going to Saudi Arabia, could you see coaches with huge salaries just putting in part of their own money?
No, because that's illegal and it costs you draft picks because you're avoiding the salary cap.
Wait,
No, that's what happens.
I know. So,
But you could be all in for 1 year and be fine.
I mean, nobody's auditing NIL, really.
No, but they do audit the NFL.
So it's like,
and you get in trouble for that.
Shoot, man, I make $9 million.
Yeah.
Here's one. Do with it what you will.
I only need 6.
I mean, was that not the craziest story you've ever read with Riley?
Yeah.
So the administration must have been like, man, what are you doing?
No, I think when it didn't work out, they were like, hey, what do? You think he went to Saudi Arabia on his own?
No.
You think he you think he came up with the idea? Let's go try and raid the sovereign fund. You think that was his idea?
No.
You think some linebacker from Utah was like, hey, let's go get some of that sweet, sweet Saudi oil money.
All I could think of, and this is such a terrible example, but have you ever seen Homeland?
No.
Oh, man. It was like this. Never mind. But in season 1, they were liquidating money.
Mm-hmm.
And this was part of a terrorist cell. And they did it through jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
And
you see him coming back looking like a pirate with
how do you get it?
Art.
How would he have got what happened if they were like, oh, okay, you need how much? Okay, we'll invest this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how would he have gotten it back?
Offshore funds.
Are you just wiring that deal? Because in the season 1 in Homeland, they waited to find the wire forever. It was encrypted.
Yeah, I mean, when you're financing, I know that Dion also sometimes feels like a terrorist to college football. When you're just wiring to a college football
careful, you'll get written about.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't call him any expletives, so I think I'm okay. But when you're wiring to a college football program as opposed to a terrorist cell, it's probably easier to get the money out.
I just wonder, I would just like to be a fly on the wall to think where the idea came from.
They're probably watching Live Golf and they're like, man, let's go get some Saudi money.
You think?
Yeah. It's 100% of the thing that it seems like Colorado would do. They're just watching golf and be like, hey.
But he was pretty forthright. It was in the report. They sent,
Yeah, because he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. Because his administration
so clearly
told him,
had the green light.
Yeah, because you think that dude's paying his own way to Saudi Arabia?
Mm-mm.
No. That's not an idea that a low mid-level staffer comes up with.
And I know
on their
we see
own.
this on television, but like when he lands, like is he saying, like is he just scouting the area and saying, hey, I'm looking for fill in the blank.
Take me to the Prince, baby. Let's go.
And then they're like, hey.
You don't have an appointment.
He's over yeah. He's over there off of 90th and Dodge. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how does that work? It has to be more intricate than like the anecdotal stuff we're saying.
Yeah, I don't think this dude just on a whim flew to Saudi Arabia without some like channels being forged between official parties. Like some mid-level staffer from a Big 12 program isn't getting a meeting with the Prince of Saudi Arabia on his own.
And then conversely, were you surprised at how forthright Coach Ferentz was? That still feels like a big fat nothing burger.
Yeah, I don't care at all.
My man, he's like, hey, I made a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Do you know what I'm glad he didn't. Like, he's just going to own him and move on. And obviously, your position coach, but in his head, he has to be thinking, do you guys know what goes on out here?
Yeah, do you know how this works?
Do you know what goes on out here?
Everywhere.
This pales in comparison
to everything.
To like legitimate tampering.
Alex Atkins has a suspension for driving a recruit to an NIL meeting. That's what he's suspended for.
Like legitimately worse things.
100%.
But you pick that?
Yes.
And you're late. You're 2 years late.
You could, literally, people are receiving text messages from other schools during their season and not in the transfer portal.
Should ask Coach Rule what he's seen.
He's told us. He told us with Fedoni what he's seen. Come on.
Wow,
that might just be one of those, hey, we don't want to look under too many rocks things. So Kirk Ferentz is like, yep, that's on me. Don't worry about it. Mike Sautter coming up next. Kicking off hour number 3 here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities. We're also on KFOR in Lincoln. DB here with me, and joining us now is Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports, NEB Preps. What's up, Mike?
Not much. Just, ready to be done going to practices here. I'm getting a little tired.
Oh, but you're gleaning lots of information.
I am, but I'm just physically, I'm a little worn out.
What did we learn this week? You're out of Stanton, I know that.
Stanton yesterday.
Yeah.
And Battle Creek yesterday. And day before that I was Gretna Dragons.
Okay.
Not East.
Not the Griffins.
There was a Griffin, but not Griffins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Griffin Goldman. Where's they at on Tuesday? That's a great question. I don't know.
Because Monday was prep, right?
Monday was prep. Yeah.
So how's prep?
Prep's gonna be all right. Prep's I was at Wahoo on Tuesday. They're gonna be good. Holy cow. Prep's got about 130 kids out for football from sophomore to senior. And
that's a lot.
About 105 freshmen.
That's a lot.
Like they'd have a travel roster, cut it down.
I'm kind of surprised.
That's a lot
of a lot of kids.
When I showed up, I was like, whoa, like this has to be some freshmen in here. Nope. Nope. It was all everybody.
He's gonna play a couple, I think. You mentioned Gavin Trapp in your report.
Gavin Trapp's gonna play.
Coached him for 3 years.
Yeah, he's gonna play defense. Defensive tackle. So he'll get some run, right?
So he's a big, strong kid.
Yeah, he'll get.
He's been a very similar size for a long time. He enjoys working out.
Yeah, you can tell he is kind of. How do I say it? You can tell he's been that kind of size. I don't know how much more there is.
Yeah, I would agree. But the good thing about him is he understands using his hands.
Right.
He can say, he'll use words like shade, a one tech. He say, hey, trap, getting a 2-eye. Like he
knows.
He's very smart.
Yeah. They have a sophomore. And it's weird because I'm like, the name is Jake Brack. Which
you think hooping. Yeah, you think hooping.
Scott, I or Jake Brock, sorry. But it's similar, and he'll be a nice player sophomore.
Yeah, D-line too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
They'll rotate. I mean, they could rotate 8, 9 guys in there and feel pretty good about it, I think. So just a matter of they are going to run the football.
Yeah, I liked both their backs last year. I almost thought, it's weird to say because it's not my team, so people have to separate.
Mhm.
Like, this is what I would say about anything.
Right.
I thought that they should be better on offense last year.
Yeah.
They have a good tandem. I thought those guys.
Walker and Ruby, they're both really.
Yeah, you got a creaser and you got a hammer.
Yeah, and they are very much so, and you can tell Coach Yonk is a running back, right? Played it and coached it a long time. They are 1 foot go. Like, they don't dance around, they don't mess around.
Yeah.
They just hit the whole go. Like,
how is that guy getting better with age? He looks. No, I'm serious. That's a weird question to say during this.
Yeah, he doesn't age at all.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, if you see him, you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
like he's older than me.
Yeah.
He's always tan. His hair looks great. He's got a great smile. Like,
yeah. Coach
he's
Young's
good looking. I'm like, this isn't stressful for you. That's what I think in my head.
It's good, clean living.
Yeah, he's just bebopping around. Got a great smile. I was like, huh, must be rough.
He's always got energy. You're right. Like, even back when he was gross, it's just like he is the same. He looks the same. It just hasn't changed at all.
Yeah. I'm like, if black doesn't crack, like, what's your secret? If he would have just been like, hey, prune juice, antioxidants or something, I don't know, man. He looks fantastic.
It's that South O in him. But those dudes don't age, I don't think.
Man, he yeah. But I think it's different too, because I kind of have an affinity for him, because I actually think he likes kids. So it's like,
that's a good place to start if you're coaching high school.
Sometimes you'd wonder.
Oh no, I know. That's a good. I said it's a good place to start. I didn't say it's a given.
Sometimes you'd wonder, but
never mind.
How were the guys out at Stanton?
Stanton's neat. I mean,
I have a hat. I don't know if I can rock it, because there's a lot of other smaller schools that I've established good relationships with, and they'd be like, yeah, why Stanton? I'm like, hey man, have you not seen this Mustang?
Yeah.
Okay. This
big Mustangs guy, just like me.
Dude, the logo?
Yeah, their logo.
It's
nice.
It's SMU. Yeah. It is.
No, I know.
Yeah, sweet.
I know.
Orange
I
and black.
Drive through Stanton a lot.
And I got the one with the gray.
Norfolk, yeah.
I have the one with the gray. What do you call this part of the hat?
The bill.
The bill.
No, not
the front.
The front,
like the front panel.
It has the front gray panel. The panel's gray with an orange horse or Mustang, and it's white mesh.
Oh, okay. So it's like a trucker hat.
Oh, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
A guy back to prep, Tony Caniglio, he throws it pretty well.
So I think that's going to be
the pass catchers are going to have to.
That's going to be the thing for them, because they're going to have to show some versatility. Because I think at this level now, especially with how many good staffs there are, like, game planning is a real thing. So I think you have to play to your strengths, but still have a little.
Yeah,
you still have to have the ability to diversify, at least keep people honest.
He's got a nice enough arm, baseball kid.
He's experienced too.
Yeah, like, it's weird, not weird,
because there aren't a lot of those guys in the Metro.
Quarterback, no
experienced.
No, that have actually played. No, there really isn't, and that's one thing I was like, oh,
Tamala.
Well, and Newsom at Central. BJ's got a lot of experience.
Yeah. There isn't a ton. You're exactly right. I can't remember. It's either Central or Prep where I was like, oh yeah, okay, quarterbacks that have actually played.
Yeah, BJ's been playing since he was a freshman.
Right. Mm-hmm. So
I'll be curious to see that offense. Will they have some versatility, especially outside the numbers?
Well, I would. Yeah, they got a lot of skilly guys.
Yes, they do. Similar body types. You like their energy at 7-on-7, right, Central?
Yeah, I did. They
have a lot of quick, fast dudes.
They played hard,
and
they were interesting. They were an interesting watch.
Haney is a big.
He is.
He's a big back. He's not like some little dude that just kind of makes you miss. He can do that.
No, he's a hammer.
He's a hammer.
Yeah.
Hip wise.
You talk about a great smile.
Yeah.
for as mean spirited as he is on the field.
He was all he was business.
Yeah.
That was the thing at Central. Was there Saturday afternoon, and they were very like. There wasn't any jacking around, messing around.
I saw
It
this
was
guy. I
straight
saw him in
business.
Lincoln at practice like 3 weekends in a row.
He's gotten like he's lost some of that kind of young weight, face and kind of body a little bit. His hips are like thicker.
Yeah.
Like he's, tell he's been in the weight room and stuff. And maybe it's just body type too, but maybe it's the picture that I took or kept of him and it's just a stride from the side. And I'm like, man, are we looking like, for some reason, I just thought Calvin Jones in my brain because Calvin went to Central, but like Calvin had those big like hips like that. And I'm like, is this going to turn into that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we forget about guys like Ackerman over there. That's it.
Ackerman and Wayne at DN for them. They're big. Like that's big.
Well, they definitely, and those are two guys that look like the bus,
Right.
getting off
They're
the bus.
definitely get off the bus guys for sure.
Not Jerome Bettis.
I am a little biased when it comes to Elijah, just because of how close I am with the family.
He's great. Like he's
Aiden and his little brother Mike Aiden just spent the night.
Yeah,
they're besties.
Their best player is Torrey Pittman though.
Yeah.
Like I was there for. I mean, I'm telling you, 10 minutes.
How would you use him? He's going to be nationally ranked.
100%. Like, there's no question. He's a stud.
Again, I wonder about like size, upsize.
Right.
But
he's
he's so
6'2".
He's so good.
He's really good. Like, just his fluid movements and stuff. And we're talking like 10 minutes first part of practice.
Yeah.
They're not doing a whole lot. And I'm just like, yeah, that's he's definitely that guy. Like,
how are you
He'll
gonna
play wide receiver and safety?
How are you gonna consume Millard South when they go out to Chandler? Can you record because it's streaming?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
We might have a guy that I might know someone that lives there that might be able to help us out. Kind of talking about it right now. So yeah, might get some clips from them.
Yeah.
From him. Yeah. We'll see.
So what else, man?
pocket.
Slow motion.
So you don't have to be. You don't have to be so like clandestine about
No,
it.
it's just in the pocket. We'll
just
see.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still radio. You got to communicate.
Yeah, I know.
We're on air. You got to talk.
It's today's my kid's birthday. I had to wake up early because I'm not going to be home.
All right. So where's she going to be in the preseason rankings?
Top 100.
1 or 2, 1, 2, or 3, because it's either my wife, my other kid, or her. So it has to be 1, 2, or 3.
And I think I asked you this last week, but you're not going to get to Papio South.
No.
Did you go back and get Papio?
Yeah, I went to Papio Saturday morning. Yeah.
How was that?
Good.
So you double dipped. You got
Saturday
to see
morning.
Central and Papio kind of
because Central
in the
moved
same window.
Yeah, Central moved to noon when they were going to be at 10, and then I'm like, oh, sweet, I can get Papio at 10. So I went to both on Saturday. Papio's I said this before. I think they're pretty dangerous if they're healthy. Like their two receivers aren't big, but why can't I think of his name? Isaac Parman is a really good athlete, and so is Bogas.
And they're both tough.
Yeah, like they're both probably gonna have to play some both ways a little bit, but
that might kind of be you guys.
Cameron will play he'll maybe get some time in running back. Like
Two-way guys might be a thing. A good theme.
Gonna have to be.
Yeah,
for a lot of teams that want to play for all the marbles.
And they're big up front. Like Logan Holtmeyer, this is his 3rd year starting and stuff. Like on the interior, obviously they have Maui, who's committed to Texas Tech, tackle. Their maybe best prospect on the line is just a sophomore. Gosh, where can't V last name? I can't think of it right now. Why can't I think of this right now? He's a stud. Like in 45 minutes of watching them scrimmage, I was like, oh yeah, that guy has a chance to be like, I said, if he's a power 4 guy, he definitely is going to be a power 4 guy. Like that was just initial thoughts in my brain. So they're big up front.
And I think they open
Cam
with their
Leggett,
rivalry game.
Yeah,
like they open with the Titans.
Yeah, that will be
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
Leggett's
I'm
gonna have
glad
to
that all
be-
the crowds will be so evenly dispersed because there's a lot of good week 1 matchups.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people will be there Thursday.
For West Side North.
Yeah.
But we're not on Friday.
I know, but a lot of people will be there Thursday.
So that's
because
fine.
it's
Yes. Yeah, and I'm just saying I shouldn't have even put this out there now, but
Uh-oh.
parking is way different.
Good luck.
We're getting that whole thing renovated back by the baseball field. That parking lot is not an option.
You're gonna
So
be parking in the
I'm
streets.
just saying.
You need to get there. Not even get there early, like after school, and just sit there.
And they're already planning a hostile takeover. Like their pregame is at a notorious West Side hangout.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Norsis?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I was like, David, you're my
"Oh."
guy. It's going to be interesting. You'll be running into a lot of West Side folks.
I might just have to go hang out at like
it's
What's
it's in the general
One Pacific
neighborhood.
Place.
Nope,
No.
you're too far west.
Yeah.
General
I know.
vicinity is somewhere between
Off
the
center.
Hy-Vee on
It's
90th
off center.
and
84th.
let's just say the cemetery.
It's between 90th and 84th.
No, I was trying to say what I'm not trying to say where they're going. The shopping center across from West Side.
No, it ain't over there.
Is that no? I'm not talking
No.
about the place North is going.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking
Is that
about
One Pacific Place?
No,
Is that what-
Countryside?
that's Countryside Village.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
So I might just have to go hang out at Countryside.
Yeah,
get some food or something.
get there early.
That's
'cause
what I was
the
saying.
casual
I
pint
don't
will be
care
is
where-
packed.
I don't care where.
So maybe go like Timber.
Maybe Timber. Or there's a place. There's Moots Pizza back there is good.
Yeah. And casual pine is back there.
Yeah, Casual Pine's back. So I might have to. Maybe I'll make the rounds to all three. I got some time to spare.
Yeah, go. Listen, what I'm telling you.
I'm not trying to park.
Listen,
Parking in that neighborhood's a nightmare. Like trying like in the actual neighborhood is the worst.
Yeah.
We used to have to do that all the time. I hated it.
Parking's gonna be atrocious.
So I might have to.
I'm missing another one on Friday too.
Well,
I said Central
North,
Bubby
Millard
West.
West.
Millard North, Millard
West
West.
Central.
Yep. That's where.
Elkhorn South, Lincoln East is Thursday.
Oh, that's another sneaky
Thursday
good
night.
one.
Papio South, and then I think Millard North, Millard West.
I
Is
think
that
it's
right?
West. Yeah. There's. I
That's
think
a
they
good
open with
one.
Millard West.
That would be interesting.
I just feel like I should
Millard
go.
West. Didn't we? Did we talk about this last week about Millard West dominance over Millard?
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
you wouldn't come up with nine in a row.
Yeah,
It's all right. It's a good time to break the streak.
it's aggressive.
It's a good time to break the streak. No,
That's a lot.
I feel like I should be there for the first game of the new era.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
you should.
as a prominent Mustang guy. You know,
You are very prominent now. You are all on the train.
well, I love Miller North. That's my
I'm not
my
saying
spot.
you shouldn't. Yeah.
Me and Michael Brunt's just out here doing it.
You'd like Coach Burrell.
Hey, Millard.
That's what I've heard.
Millard North's schedule is not easy at the beginning here.
Yeah,
At Millard West, then Cherry Creek comes in, then at Papio South, and then Millard South. Could they go 0-4?
Say it again.
At
Millard
Millard
West.
West, Cherry Creek comes in here.
Mm-hmm.
At Papio South, Millard South.
They will not be on for.
I know, but like
I have no
2-2 or
I have no expectations for this year. I really don't, because I have no idea what to.
I would have some expectations. when
No,
you
I just have no idea what to expect. Like it's such a different. Like there's so much change, right? I get they've got good players. I get that you've got 3 Division I guys on a high school roster in Nebraska. Like you should win some games.
You should be pretty good.
I get that. Like not saying no expectations in terms of, they don't have the talent to win games or anything like that. I just mean because it's so much different from anything Millard North has done in the last 45 years, basically their entire existence. I have no idea going into it.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Erickson and those guys up front for Millard West.
Yeah.
Because I could see Millard North trying to get after them.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. And I think defensively, they're probably ahead of where they would be offensively, because you got between Rayburg, Vermoss, and Mooberry, you got some dudes on each level there, basically.
Don't forget about Rocky either.
And Rocky Chavez.
Gosh, if I could pour a body type, I think Rocky might be up there.
You think so?
Linebacker.
Yeah.
He looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Chavez, his kid.
Tremendous genes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he knows how to lift.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would hope with his dad. Coach Chavez is enormous.
His body type is pretty.
But yeah, so I could see the defense being ahead, and maybe if they're good enough, maybe carrying the water a little bit for the offense until they get things figured out on that side. I mean, obviously Mooberry and Vermoss are going to play both ways and have opportunities.
They're gonna move Vermoss around. Like
I mean,
defensively. He's not just going to be stuck on an island on a corner.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, and like, I've talked about this for a long time is I'm still not 100% convinced that Mooberry's best skill set isn't going out and high pointing the football. Like
being a tight end.
Yeah, like he's really, really
he's
good
going
at
to play that too.
Hasn't had a lot of opportunities, obviously, because of the offense and what they were doing there. But I mean, it could be really interesting. I just have no idea going into it, what that's going to look like. I don't know what the quarterback play is going to be. I don't know on the offensive side of the ball, especially. Just I think you look at it and go, hey, I'd like to get the ball into Mooberry and Verghese hands as much as possible. But,
quarterback Zion, he has a nice arm. He just needs to mature a little bit. He's not played, right?
Right, yeah.
We're in another situation he's not played. And that's kind of a theme with quarterbacks here. You have Braylon Warren, he hasn't really played, like hasn't been
Coach Frank left last night. He came and he goes, I'm not sure when the last time Westside's had a quarterback that could spin it like that. And I go, yeah, he's pretty talented.
He is.
He goes, understatement of the year. Do you get an award for that? I was like, wow.
He's good.
I mean, I was super impressed with Braylon Warren at 7-on-7.
Then you have, a guy like, I went to Gretna on Wednesday.
Easter pub.
High Dragons.
Okay.
And Mike Knutson can really spin it too.
Quietly, huh?
Really?
There's some guys in that community that like him.
He can really spin it. And he hasn't played. He's thrown 11 passes.
Yeah.
It's just, we'll see when the lights come on. We'll see what happens. But off the hoof, workout, whatever, practice stuff, he can really throw it. When I was at the practice, the dude's got to catch the ball. They were dropping some stuff and whatever that need to help him out a little bit. But he's a talented kid.
How about this for a schedule of first four before the first four versus the next three? Home against Papio South, at North Star, at Lincoln Southwest, home against Bellevue East.
Who's that, Papio?
Yep. Then they go at Prep, at Millard South, home against Central.
That's a little backloaded.
The thing
that's a tough schedule, though. It's pretty decent.
And then they get Fremont at home, and then they come to us. Thing you never know about high school, that you have to have a little good fortune because health is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And you just never know with high school kids.
No question. I'm looking at the stream. Reason why Life of Lincoln said, can I break down the Southern and Salish football teams? Because I went there as a sophomore.
Yeah.
But yes, his answer is, can Coach Cool and Carney be in the mix in Class A? Absolutely 100% there.
I would put they're firmly in my top four.
They're top five at least. And if you don't have them in your top five, then you're probably doing it wrong.
We'll talk to Coach Cool coming up here in a little bit.
Yeah. So our coach's corner will start next week.
Yeah.
Shane, I think you have to start with, and he may be traveling. So see what Coach Wisdom's schedule is before they get on the road.
They need to do that third. Well, they might be leaving Thursday night.
I would imagine with that big of a group, you may need to leave 2 days in advance.
Yeah, you need to ask them all the logistics stuff, because that's the first time we've ever had something like that where you're on a plane, right?
Yeah.
Prep's going to DeSmet, but that's a bus.
Yeah.
And then Cherry Creek's coming here.
Right.
How about this schedule? I'm not going to give you the opener because you'll know. Then it goes home versus Berg, home versus Southeast, at Millard West, home versus Papio.
Is that North?
It is not.
I don't know.
That's Prep.
Yeah. Not easy.
You got a chance to get off to
decent start.
Yeah. I'll give you this, Doozy, because I think this one's pretty tough. Kind of. I'm not going to give you the opener because you know. Ready? You have the home game, then you get South at home, at Omaha North. You get Buena Vista there. So you have Buena Vista and South in your first handful of games. Then you go Westside, Prep, Papio, Millard North.
Whew. That's Central.
Correct.
Yeah. I looked at it before. Yeah.
That's a chance to get a good young team
Some confidence.
some confidence.
Yeah.
And then they hit a good stretch.
That's why that opener for me is so key for them.
Yeah.
Bell, that game's gonna be good. Bell West needs to. They need to get off to. They need to win that game. Like they really do. If you look at their,
You talking about
schedule-
for their psyche?
No, just for the season. Like you look at their schedule. Like that game and Southwest are pretty pivotal games for Bellevue West. I think. Like,
Yeah,
as far as playoff-y stuff goes.
Although they have I think Bellevue West has a real manageable schedule.
Right, but I'm just saying, like they need to kind of get off.
Yeah, because they do go Central Elkhorn South, bang bang.
Another guy, quarterback Will Anderson. Now it's his show finally.
Yeah.
So playing some, but he's gonna run. He's gonna run.
God, he's a big, strong-looking kid.
He's gonna run a lot.
Coming up next, we'll get to our Bet On It segment brought to you by War Horse Sportsbook. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. Mike Sautter here with us as well. We will get to more Hurrdat Sports Radio coming up next. Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities, KFOR in Lincoln. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. Mike Sautter here with us as well. It's time for your Bet On It segment brought to you by War Horse Sportsbook. War Horse Sportsbook, no bets, no glory. It's the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets with the straight bet, parlay, in-game prop, whatever you want to bet on. War Horse Sportsbook most likely has you covered with nearly every major sporting event. You can go to the locations in Lincoln or in Omaha to go place your bets at War Horse Sportsbook. DB, we've got actual games we can pick.
Oh, no.
You right there? You gonna make it?
No, I was just saying.
Oh, why is it bad? Oh no. Why is it oh no?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hold on for one more day.
No.
You're going like Wilson Phillips?
No. Well, I know one thing you should have bet on
What's that?
is that the Jets being bookended by the Steelers and
I ain't scared of Steelers. I'll tell you that.
see this
Lot of
guy
attitude
this
over
guy
here.
this guy that doesn't
Lot of
listen,
attitude
just ready
over
to
here.
pounce. It's his little girl's birthday. He's stressed out, so he's revving a little high.
I can't even see my.
All I was going to say, Jerome, was that you could bet on the fact that the Steelers and the Jets would somehow be on
TV every day.
ESPN
Every single morning.
single morning.
Yeah, that's true.
Every single stinking morning.
All right.
That's fine. It's
You
about
ready?
time.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
We're going to save the best for last. So let's start off with the worst. Delaware State at Hawaii. Minus 40.5.
Yeah.
Can
Delaware State.
the Rainbow Warriors win?
Oh, they're not very good.
I know. That's why that number is enormous.
They're not. I mean, they're okay.
The $1 million question is, did Delaware State successfully get to Hawaii?
No big deal.
No, it is a big deal to actually get to the game you have to play, Shane. That's important. Here's my other question, okay? So, and maybe we need to talk to either our friends at War Horse or Brian. He can tell us here. So if you have to forfeit a game,
Yeah.
it officially goes down as a 1-0 score, right?
Yes, I think so.
That's how it used to be.
You
at
can't.
least.
Yeah, you can't make up a number.
Right. So is it just a no bet then?
I don't know. But by the way, have they released the Big Ten tiebreakers yet?
I don't think so. SEC just did.
So you imagine that that was a couple days ago. So you
Yeah.
imagine the Big Ten's got to be like we are getting ready to play football.
You would think it would happen. I mean,
I imagine it'll be close to the SEC.
yeah, it's probably pretty similar. You have to release it before the start of the season, though, right?
One would think.
Because that way everybody kind of understands what they're operating under.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like, hey, it's the end of the season. These are the tiebreakers.
Yeah, I'm like, what are
Because that feels a little shady,
kind of taking it down to the wire, aren't we?
a little sketchy, a little shifty.
Right? Aren't we taking this down to
It's
the
a little
wire?
close. It's a little close. No Big Ten teams play tomorrow, though, so we got another week.
Oh, technically, you're right.
You like Hawaii or Delaware State?
Fudge,
We're talking 50 points.
40.5.
Oh, it's 40.
yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
That's too big of a number for me.
Yeah, you just hope it's.
It's too big of a number for me.
Hey, you hope it's like 35-3 or something.
Yeah. I don't think Hawaii's that good.
There ain't no 40.
40. They have to win by 41. That's a lot.
That'd be like
they must-
42-3. You win.
You can get your butt kicked pretty good and still not lose by 41 points.
42-7. A junk TD late.
Yeah. Ruins it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I mean,
Like, this is a stay away, obviously. But if I have to pick, because that's what we're doing here, I'm
Yeah.
going Delaware State.
Yeah.
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 Assuming they got to the stadium.
That's random. You staying away from your Knowles, huh?
No, I'm doing all 4 games.
Oh, you're doing multiple?
I'm just doing all 4 games. I wanted to have us both pick.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Montana State, New Mexico. We've got Montana State.
Don't even tell me it's Montana State. That's who you're taking.
Minus 13.5.
Sure. Yep.
You big on Montana State? Big Montana State guy?
Dude, I think my guy
They're pretty big.
I
pretty
think my
good-
guy
pretty good
Randolph
FCS.
Kapai is at New Mexico.
Is he?
I think.
Pretty good FCS program.
Let's
playing a not great FBS program.
Let's find Randolph Kapai.
I'm
Where is it?
It is at New Mexico.
Of course, they're not. You think New Mexico's going to
Hey,
Montana State?
you never
Hell
know.
no. Maybe
Some
but I
weird,
don't think so, man.
some weird. Where we're not sure if it's a buy game or not.
Yeah. Is New Mexico paying Montana State?
Yeah.
Or Montana State paying New
Yeah,
Mexico?
like I don't know.
It's a buy game, and you're
would.
paying a team, and you're a 14-point underdog.
I would lay.
Feels
I would lay the 3.5 or
Kapai,
13.5.
Kapai is at New Mexico now.
good. Hey man, it's
Not state, just New Mexico.
Yeah, he's a Lobo.
Yeah.
You're taking Montana.
Yeah,
State.
I'm going Montana State.
I'd take.
there.
I'd lay the 13.5.
All right, now to teams that we've actually heard of. SMU at Nevada minus 25.
Who's favorite?
SMU is a 25-point favorite. I think
Again,
Nevada
went through
this
all
would
this
this would
drama.
never be anything official because
No, I wouldn't actually
haven't
bet on
capped this, but so this is just my.
This is an academic
These are
purpose.
gut feelings.
Yeah, this is an academic exercise.
Mm,
I'm probably going to SMU.
I probably would lay the 25.
I think SMU is going to be the brains out of them.
Yeah.
I don't think Nevada's very good.
I just don't like how they ballooned and then came back down, and now it's kind of in the middle. Week ones are tough because
Also,
the line's
Nevada's
been out there forever.
The turmoil with coaching and stuff is
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
not
there's some
great.
stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably lay the
Why do you
25.
keep talking about Roberts on TV.
Dude,
Last but not least, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Dublin.
What's the number?
It's at 10 now,
that's about right.
minus 10. It's been between 10 and a half and 11 and a half.
I saw some 12s like last week.
Oh, really? I didn't see it up to 12. Yeah, that's a. It's all kind
buy
of.
it-
I mean,
Buy it to 9.5 and take Florida State.
that's not a bad plan.
That's what I
By the half point.
if I was.
I landed on the key number.
I hate those key numbers like that. So you just buy the half.
I don't know. I would.
You've been on Georgia Tech the whole time.
I know, but now the number's right.
So I like
And if it
12.
moved
12's
from-
too high, so you're taking Georgia Tech at 12.
Also, if it
11
moved-
and a half
11
would
and a half,
have been
12.
great.
If
Yeah.
it moved from 12 down,
I know for
that tells
sure
you
there
what
were
people are
11 and a half. At that number, I would take Florida State, even though I do kind of low key like Georgia Tech. I just worry about how they're going to stop the run.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I think they gave up 220 or 221 last year a game. Like, that's a lot.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And FSU has a tandem. Plus, they have
Good offensive line.
yeah,
Norvell thinks it might be their best offensive line he's had.
a nasty old group too.
Yeah.
So
A lot of, I think 190 starts. I think
I think
like that's a crazy number.
Georgia Tech's gonna have to hunker down. But I would
Wait
I
till
don't
about
love
that.
it, but I would like gun to head pick one. I'd probably take FSU. And you're right. I have been on G Tech since the offseason.
Yeah.
It's one of those wait till about 11:30, see where the line.
See where the number is.
Well, more like 10:30 because
Or 10:30, yeah.
it's 11.
Yeah,
here.
it's 11.
Wait till 30 minutes before the game, and then you
It's 11
kinda
kick.
make it see
Yeah.
where the line's at.
I mean, I'm a homer, so I'm going Florida State, obviously. But I also this is one of those games for me where if you're just better, you should probably win this game by about 2 touchdowns. Like if they're just like, I understand there's potentially some things that Georgia Tech could do that would cause Florida State some issues. Specifically, if Haynes King decides to play well.
He's
and
really
not turn the
good,
ball
but
over.
he may give it to the other team, but he's really good.
Yeah, if he takes care of the football, but as we've seen around these parts, that's a pretty big if for guys that kind of have a tendency.
Mm.
I think if you're Florida State, you've got to be able to do what we talked about with being able to stop the run, being able to establish the run, and you should be able to win that game by a couple touchdowns, I would think. Like that to me
Is it
is
weird that a conference game is over there? I just think it's weird. I guess
Nebraska's
too, but
was.
I know.
I mean,
it's just odd.
Listen, you pay enough money, they'll play football anywhere.
It's true.
Like Colorado might have a game in
Saudi Arabia.
Dubai soon.
Yeah.
Be a home game.
Yeah.
What does bolstered mean?
They might do
Well,
a
hot. You have to play like in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play at midnight, and you just do a tour. Like 1 week you do Saudi Arabia, the next week you do like Riyadh. It's fine. You'll be fine.
You guys use it all the time. What is it?
That is Shane. I can't believe he cut that up.
It's Saudi money, Dion.
Improved. How about improved?
You said you had a NFL preseason one for me.
I do. It wouldn't be my top play. It would be 1A.
Preseason?
Oh yeah.
Wow, degenerate.
He made people some money yesterday.
I'll give you one, and it's against Shane's Raiders. Take Ravi Lulla's Niners minus the 7.
Okay, that's not your top one though.
Nope, they would drop the hammer on the Raiders.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go to Major League Baseball.
Ooh, okay.
A good live home dog, and you get a little plus money.
Okay. What do we got?
Take the Miami Marlins at home, hosting half this state's Chicago Cubs. The Marlins at home
Plus 110.
against the Cubs.
Get a little plush juice there.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you like that?
I like
Horse?
that. I'm a little, I'm surprised that that's not more plus money on my. I know Cubs aren't playing great right now, but it's not. I would like a little more plus money on Miami than that.
You think, right?
I would love, ideally, but
You ain't giving up any juice.
DB feels good about it. You got you on the Bears last night.
You like it? I love it.
All right, that is Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. No bets, no glory. Make sure you place your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook in person at the sportsbooks in Lincoln or Omaha. Coming up next, we're going to talk to the one and only Matt Vrzal here on Hurrdat Sports Radio. Wrapping up the show here on Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities, KFOR in Lincoln. We're brought to you by our friends at the Team Jack Foundation. Make sure you check out teamjackfoundation.org to get involved. You can volunteer. You can donate right there on the page. You can see what's going on with their events and the projects they've got working. Make sure you check it all out at teamjackfoundation.org. We are efforting our friend Matt Vrzal to join us whenever he gets a minute here. In the meantime, anything you're looking forward to this weekend?
The game, man.
Just games in general?
Dublin.
Just having real games?
Yeah, college football.
That starts at 11.
11
Yes.
a.m.
I just got my kid's birthday party tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, knowing us, we'll just somehow be leaving the high school. Jeez.
We got Verghese.
We got Matt.
All right, joining us now, former Husker owner of Pison's Pizzeria, Matt Vrzal. What's up, Verz?
Not much, boys. How we doing?
Good. Hey, the first day. Wait, this school's back, so
Yeah.
we have
No lunch. Not
it's got lunch, right?
Yeah, we're in it right now.
What time did you get there?
3.
Three. How many are going out today?
We got 160 going to the school, and then we have another catering that's gonna leave here probably in the next 45 minutes.
Is that the one that I helped you deliver that one day?
No.
Dang.
No.
Dang.
That was I can't remember what one that. Oh no, we went to
the school. The costume.
No, we went to the corporate office of the laser hair removal place.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Hey, so Matt, they're laughing like you're joking. Tell them that story, because I called you. This was probably about a year ago, and I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Getting my back hair removed." I almost dropped the phone. I thought he was joking.
Yeah, I used to be super hairy. No, I'm not.
This was just like a year. That was like what, a year ago, Matty?
No, your gauges of time are terrible.
How long ago was
Like
that?
2.5, 3 years.
Well, it's because you aged me. That's why. I mean, that's all that. Oh, by the way,
Damon will vouch for me. He's seen it.
Yeah, it's not good.
He used to be like wearing a sweater in the summer. It's terrible.
He would wear a T-shirt, and it was like he was smoggling rice without a backpack on his back. I was like, what are all those little? It's hair.
That Czechoslovakian blood.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, do you have any extra industrial size things of aluminum foil lying around?
No. but I can get you one on Tuesday.
That'd be awesome, man. I know you made fun of me. That was arguable. I've gotten like 5 great gifts, and the aluminum foil was one of them.
Can you just go to the store?
And I've given you 2 of them.
You don't understand. Like,
Oh, it's a heavy stuff.
and they're giant.
Long.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Not the ones you get from Costco.
No, they are incredible. I've gotten a couple great sets of knives, and
You guys been drinking today, or are we going to talk sports? What are we doing?
my vacuum sealer. No, I'm still a little. No, we better talk sports. Ravi's eating bite-sized Nutter Butters, and he likes cookies at watch parties. And Sautter is complaining that he actually had kids and it's his daughter's birthday.
That's not true. I wasn't complaining.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Yes.
Leighton, my oldest. You know her.
Oh, it's Leighton's birthday?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she's 8.
But I do have
I think I'm a little higher on the Lily chain. Lily likes me more than Leighton does.
Yes, yeah, she does.
Well, she's not old enough to know any better yet.
Yeah.
Oh no, they are.
They know. Yeah.
That's
Uncle Matt, they like it.
That's unfortunate. Hey, Matt, I said this, and maybe it's just wishful thinking. I said part of I think the delay in coach rule, naming Dylan as a starter was, I think they want to, like, for lack of a better term, program him as much as possible to deal with what comes next, right? The interview request, the national attention, all that other stuff, just to make sure when they let baby Bambi out into the real world that he can at least stand up. You think that's legit or not?
I think you're in the right ballpark. I think you got the wrong batter. I think it's more of a situation where he doesn't want things to be viewed as given. I think he waited and waited and waited to say, hey, now you have the inside track on this. I'm sure you're setting me up to sound like a dumbass, but I think it's more of a deal where
it's legit, man.
If you have a team that struggles with identity, discipline, all those things, and they have, what's proven as the prodigal son to come in, or assumed to be the prodigal son come in, and then you don't go through a camp, you just give them the job, like you anoint them on the first day, then they're like, oh, we see how this is. Okay, this isn't different. They're going to play this kid because he has X, Y, and Z. They let him go out and prove he's the best. They let him go out and show. Like all that other stuff, like the media, which I do think is going to be a big deal to request for it. I wonder how many times he's seen his daddy go up, with the Lions and talk on stage, and he's probably practiced it at home and mimicked it and all those kind of things. So I would say it was more a message, which he's really good at sending messages to that team.
Yeah. So, Verge, you think it's more about the actual players being shown by Dylan's performance that, hey,
they still have, but the only hard part with that is, and I'm kind of vibing, Matty, is the players have to believe it's a thing too, right? He can't fool them.
And he's good enough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? Like
sure.
he can say he's waiting and this is what he wants because nothing's given.
Right.
But the other players have to hold up their end of it too.
Like he's also shown he's an equal opportunity ass chewer. He does not care.
Yeah, you got that.
So I'm guessing everybody's probably caught one in there. And it's like, oh, this is really – that was a unique thing, like when we were redshirt freshmen, especially me, just a doofus from Grand Island trying to make a way. There was no need for me to be treated the exact same as everybody else that freshman year, but I was.
Right.
Until certain things separated themselves, and then you're like, okay, I am getting treated a little different, but I get it. Like, I've seen it. So, yeah, that would be – it's kind of that old school mentality of what we get to watch them do, and his messaging is really good. I mean, it's just nice to have an adult in charge.
So,
and not a geriatric adult.
So, Verz, so like even if I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. So even if the coaches see it early or right away or whatever, and they know it's important for everybody else on the field to see it too, like, is that how you give it an opportunity without trying to seem like you're trying to fool the team into it's a real competition? Like if it's obvious to everyone that makes it easier in this situation. Am I understanding that correctly?
No, coaches ain't playing the game. Like Dvorak and Foley ain't suiting up. So it's letting the kid see the player play, then them coming to the realization, like, dude, this guy is way good. And then be like, why isn't he named the starter yet? And then you watch him get coached, and then you see how he's treated. And then he works on those things that they tell him to work on. And he gets better at those things they tell him to work on. Then the player's like, oh, he's treating him just like he treats me. So now we're all on the same coach. I could, if the coach doesn't get it, I could give 2 S's. They don't need to get it because they ain't playing. You got to have the guys that you're going out to the field with that you trust that are going to get down with. Like those are the ones that matter.
I don't know if it's because we forgot about him, we take him for granted, or
right.
He kind of said that he got off to a slow start, like cultural fit wise. But how good do you think Mazuka could be in this league?
You guys all 3 missed that joke. I don't even know why I come on this show.
I didn't hear you.
I didn't either.
You might have cut out.
You said the one thing we forgot about, and I said Dre, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I had a UGK pocket full of Stones reference
Nutter butters. You 2 are eating Nutter butters and doing whatever.
You know I ain't messing with Nutter butters.
The Mazuka kid's value. The Mazuka kid's value is the mindset shift that I've been waiting for, because I think for far too long Nebraska's been too reactionary, like, oh, we're going to play these guys. They do this, 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 and this. I will guarantee you this. Mazuka will watch film. He does not care what you do. You are going to have to deal with him. Now, he's written a check. I don't mind the check. I don't mind the amount. But now there's going to be a game coming up in a week, and he's going to have to go cash it. So he said, you better worry about me. Now we got to go watch it, and hopefully we all get to see, everybody in this league should be worried about you.
I like the fact that he likes Raiola because he's no nonsense and holds him accountable. You don't a lot of times see guys that have like that old and that mature say things like that, but it's like you always say, man, deep down people want to be led.
Yeah, good players want coached hard.
The real ones you do, the soft ones you don't.
Get them.
Real ones want that kind of coaching. Soft ones don't. They want to go cry to mommy and daddy and say, that guy's a meanie. He's mean to me. Kind of sounds like something somebody says to me all the time.
Yeah, good talk, Matt.
Hey, DB.
Yo.
Give me a call when you get done.
Okay, buddy.
That's our guy, Matty Vrzal. We will talk to you again next week, Matt.
Good boys.
That's the show for the week. We will be back on Monday here on Hurrdat Sports Radio.